Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Castle, are you good? Yeah, I can hear you. It's just like, what's going on? Stream up?
Are we on?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. We're speaking to you. Can you not hear us? Oh, we're live. Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Apparently, we need to get started. Let me raise the energy. My fault. My fault. I didn't even know. I thought we were still waiting on you.
No, we're going.
Probably. UBA
Alrighty,
IFC
what is
GIF.
going
Yeah,
on,
okay.
everybody? Here we go. Fight Night 22. Tornado versus John Bones, or John Pork, excuse me.
John
We are
Pork
going.
Demon Bones. What a stupid fucking name. We got Tornado versus John Pork. Begin. Alright, who's hyped? Who's hyped, yo?
Dude, I'm very hyped, bro. It's about time that this card got started.
Guts knows ball. This guy. Alright. As you stated, this is Fight Night 22, joined by, our fellow commentators, Fishmonger and Kazekage. Welcome yourselves to the stage.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
What's going on, everybody? Doing pretty good, excited for some of these fights tonight. Fight Night 22 finally here. Dude, there's gonna be a lot of fights today, a lot of good ones, hopefully. But I'm excited. Had a bit of a long day, but that's behind us, and now we get to get into some fights. I've been waiting.
And this is directly a week after UBA 10. We got a lot of fights coming up. You got Fight Night 23 next week. There's been a lot of fights this month to make up for the delay of UBA 10. So I'm excited. This ain't even gonna be the last of it.
Seconds out.
Moving into the first matchup of the early prelims, Lazy coming out of the red corner, my beloved biological son, by the way, Ethereal coming out of the blue. And already a solid snipe to the body there from Ethereal. Ooh. Already noticing some solid slick movement here from Ethereal. What are you two noticing? Let's start with you, Fish.
Noticing immediately, okay, of course, as soon as I was going to say something, he did the opposite, but peep the way that Ethereal is moving around Guest or Lazy, and how little Lazy is moving in response. If he doesn't adjust that in later rounds, it's really going to pile on the damage for him, as Ethereal keeps taking angles.
I absolutely agree.
I got hurt there for a second.
I would just like to point Castle, is it just me or is his audio low? I don't know. He might be a lot quieter than us on the stream.
Are you talking to me? Like my audio?
Yeah, your audio is kind of
Okay.
quiet in comparison to me and Kaze. Just want to watch out for that. I don't know if you could like raise your mic or just raise your voice a little bit.
Is this a little bit better?
Oh, a lot better. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, back to the fight though. Let's not forget to address some slick boxing here coming in from Ethereal.
Oh.
I think having a kickboxing history in real life, showing that technique, showing that beautiful slick movement, but Lazy's putting on the pressure too. Lazy's showing some solid movement, and I've seen him, with that slick weave. There's a few punches that we've seen just Lazy completely mitigate off of just moving alone.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen both fighters rock so far. Ethereal staying on the front foot a lot. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, though.
Any inputs, Fish?
Ooh, beautiful.
Watch
hook right
how
there from
Ethereal, he's moving really well and he's taking great angles, but something that he's doing when he's ducking down or he's stepping to the side, he's not adjusting his guard with his movement. That's why Lazy's catching him.
Absolutely. I was seeing the same thing where every time he would duck his head in, he would stand there and he would not move the guard to adjust. So he was just kind of waiting there for Lazy to step back and pop a few to his head before he was able to escape, you know? Let's go ahead and see what Tomato thinks on this, our ringside analyst, however.
You know, Ethereal's really halting a lot of what Lazy's trying to do just by using that jab and circling off. If Lazy wants to get inside, and as Blue pointed out, needs to mitigate these shots with his head movement and then go after that. This is a counter focused system. You're going to find many benefits if you counter. I give that 10-9 to Ethereal.
I agree. Any input from the other commentators?
What I want to see from Ethereal here, I actually want to see him back off a little bit. I want to see him work the jab a little bit more. I want to see him adjust his guard as well, otherwise he's going to start eating those counters. He needs to set up his movement and his other punches, not just wing him.
Yeah, here we go, round 2 of a scheduled 3 in the first fight of the night. And yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, gentlemen. I think Ethereal did really great first round. You know, he stayed on the front foot. I feel like he did enough to win the round 2. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him kind of back off a little bit. You know, Lazy was kind of catching him when he was moving in. He has his hands down a lot, too. So, I feel like that's going to be a big problem. So, yeah. I mean, I think Ethereal, he just needs to be careful and needs to keep his hands up, keep picking his shots well. And he's, you know, he's working his angles really well, though. That's what also I like to see. Ooh. Oh!
It's starting to
huge combination.
Ethereal coming in with some solid hooks there. Seems like Ethereal's starting to kind of let the hands fly here. He's starting to let go. Some of that technicality is starting to leave him as he's starting to look more and more like a VR boxer. Oh man, Lazy with his hands really down right now. I'm noticing Lazy is one of those fighters that leans back when they fight. So when he's fighting, regardless of how he looks in real life, because he's on a lean back, his chin is propped up in the air permanently, you know? You see multiple other fighters in this game that kind of have that same issue, you know, Jaw, Tomato. And it leads to them just kind of being able to get hopped pretty frequently by that cross, you know? Solid roll there from Ethereal. Ethereal?
Oh my goodness.
It's Ethereal, right? Can somebody give me some like response to that, please?
I have no idea, man.
Is it? I think it's Ethereal.
Are you? Yeah, Ethereal. Sorry.
Ethereal. Oh, Ethereal.
Is Ethereal in the purple gloves or the red gloves? I've seen both.
So Lazy is in the purple gloves. Ethereal is in the red.
Okay, yeah, sorry. The scoreboard was backwards. It was kind of throwing me off. That's why I've been so hesitant to talk. I don't know who's who. That's my bad. Okay, so Ethereal is in the red gloves. Yeah, I've been talking like Ethereal's in the purple gloves. That's my apologies. Okay, so with that in mind now, actually, you know, we're gonna send this over to Tomato, our ringside analysis. Tomato, what do you think?
It's now just Ethereal utilizing that room scale space fully to his advantage. Lazy is not prepared to cut off that ring. Ethereal's doing a great job at moving. Every time he gets popped by a stray shot from Lazy, he's instantly getting to the moving, he's instantly getting to the circling out, and that's what's winning him this fight. I got him up 2-0 at this stage. Back to you.
Thank you, Tomato. Passing back to the commentators as we move on to the third and final round of the first bout of the night. You know, both fighters putting on a solid performance. I think Ethereal so far unofficially taking this round, you know, 20-18 right now. What do you commentators agree with this so far?
You know, now knowing that Ethereal is the one in the red gloves, I think I have this fight going for Lazy. You know, Lazy's just been on the front foot more. Feels like he's been throwing a little bit more power. He's been on the... he's just been more aggressive, and I feel like he's just been landing a little bit more. But Ethereal working the counter right now looks very good, and he's also been catching Lazy a lot too. But I mean, in my opinion, I just think that Ethereal has just been overcoming a lot of those big power shots that Lazy's been throwing with just the sheer amount of aggression he's had.
Fish, what do you think?
I think they're 1-1 right now. I think this round they're pretty even so far. I think what's going to happen here, though, is if Ethereal stays on the back foot and Lazy keeps coming in like this, he's going to keep getting countered.
Yeah.
Lazy's doing what Ethereal was doing wrong in the first round.
I can see that.
Ooh, looks like Lazy might be a little bit hurt here.
Oh yeah, Lazy did definitely get caught by that punch here. I'm hoping to see Lazy start to throw a little bit lighter, you know? I feel like we're seeing him throw, overextend, hyperextend. Every punch is aimed to kill. I want to see him take it a little bit lighter. Throw some more feints in there. Throw some more, you know, pop a light 1-2, then rip a hard shot, you know? We're not seeing a lot of mix-ups here. We're just seeing him kind of go for the kill.
Ooh.
And Ethereal's just kind of... Ethereal's just able to kind of hunt it.
I'm loving this pressure from Lazy right now. Needs to be careful for those counter shots. That's the
beautiful
only
body
thing
shot there from Ethereal.
And ref separates him again. Lazy's hurt. Ooh, Ethereal puts his hands in the air. He believes he won. It'll be a close one as there were 0 knockdowns to score off of.
Yeah. Ooh.
And the red corner will take it. That will be Lazy. It was the pure aggression that takes it in a 29-28 fashion. Ooh. Very close in damage. Only about, about 500 to spare there. That was a close one. Gentlemen, what are we thinking of that one?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I can see the result. I can see the result being the way that it was. I saw Lazy, though he was missing a lot of those power shots, Ethereal was not hitting hard enough to keep up with the sheer amount of damage that I feel like Lazy was hitting. You know, I feel that's not a ridiculous result, you know? So while some of us might have seen it otherwise, you know, I think it was a deserved win on a split decision there, you know?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing was when Ethereal was landing his combinations, he was landing with lighter punches, and when Lazy was landing his combinations, which was less, he was still hitting harder. And sometimes, like, that's the difference.
I can see that. However, you know, as controversial as the result may seem to some here in the stage, we are going to move on to the next bout, a middleweight bout between a not fresh, but a pro debut from a new name here in the UBA community versus a vet at the lower rankings of the top 15 in middleweight. We have Expert coming out of, I believe, the red corner, Rami in the blue.
Okay, get ready.
Unless I have this backwards.
It's Rami in the red.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Rami in the red, okay.
So that means that Rami will have the Puma gloves and Expert has the yellow fit.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
This is a joystick versus joystick bout. Man, Expert's already coming in the left-right combination, but weaving his shot in between was some good.
Oh, Randy hooked him. Sending Expert back. And Expert goes down.
Randy
Wow.
just winged at him.
Oh my goodness, Rami. Pure aggression here in round 1, and it pays off for him.
What a shot there from Rami, an absolute rush down as Expert goes down within the first minute of the fight. Fish, what are your opinions so far on these fighters?
I mean, this is exactly what the PTC is for. What you're seeing right now is a high-volume fighter getting countered, getting shot right on the chin, and then that stun extra damage opens it up for more. He's doing it right now. He's not defending. He's just firing back. You can't do that anymore. It's not the meta.
Yeah, you can see Expert was one of those guys where he was willing to go blow for blow with you and swing, you know, regardless of the counters that were coming out of him. He was, you know, he was firing back. He was throwing, you know, as many punches as you were. And a lot of times due to a combination of, you know, his placement, his volume, and a little bit of his ping, he was winning a lot of those, you know? You know, that's what earned him a contract here at UBA and what's earned him this ranking shot. But, you know, Rami, you know, proving why he's the part of the top 15 right now with that beautiful early round knockdown. And like you pointed out, these counters. Kaze, what do you think?
Man, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Rami right now. You know, Expert, he's just trying to get in his face and just throw everything he can. And just like what Fish said, you know, he's not really covering himself up, and he's getting caught with this counterattack, which is working beautifully for Rami right now. I mean, if I'm Ramy, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, you know? He's moving forward, he's dropping his hands, and he's working off the counter. Tomato ringside analysis, what are we thinking?
You know, Ramy is so good at gauging the distance. This has been a skill he's had as long as I've seen him. He's doing extremely well to have Expert be first, but counter him on the inside. It may look like a lot of hooks for you, but these are well-placed shots that we're seeing right now from Ramy. He's up in this fight now. That distance and that range keeping is going to continuously win him these rounds if Expert doesn't change something about that style.
I completely agree.
Tomato.
You know, we also have to acknowledge, you know, this is a Middle East fighter versus an EU fighter. The ping is most likely around 150 player to player, if not more or less. So the shots that we're seeing right now might not be what the fighters are seeing, you know? While we might think that was a 10-8 Ramy round pretty clearly, but the damage might not be as clear-cut as we think it might be.
All right, here we go. Round 2 of a scheduled 3. Ramy will take round 1 pretty easily with the knockdown. You know, Bloob, you're a very skilled fighter. If you're Expert right now, what are you doing to kind of adjust and try and make a bit of a comeback here?
Finding your footwork. You know, you see Expert when he starts punching, he just walks forward. You know, he's walking you down. He's 1, he's 2, he's 1, he's 2, he's 3, he's 2. And he's not mixing the footwork in and out, you know? He's not taking advantage of that ring control, and so Ramy's just able to kind of, boom, pop in, hit the 3-hook combination, and pop right back out of his range, you know? And as Tomato pointed out, being our expert ringside analysis, he has that beautiful distance management that's allowing him to do that beautifully. That's what secured him the knockdown, you know? Oh, you know, Ramy getting caught.
I agree with that right now. Expert has Ramy hurt, though, in the corner. Expert now turning up the volume a little bit on Ramy.
Yeah, man, and that volume, when you're throwing that many power punches, inevitably something is bound to land, you know? Even you could be getting dominated for 12 rounds straight. If you keep that pace up, just like Expert is now, you will likely find a shot. And it seems more than likely some of these shots from Expert are starting to find their mark. Ramy's struggling to defend them. Fish, what are you
but Ramy has Expert hurt.
Yeah,
Expert's
he turned that
hurt.
around.
Ramy trying to walk him down.
Oh, Ramy's walking him down.
Oh man, big shots from Ramy. Ooh, Expert will get a clinch, and that might have just saved him a little bit. Oh my goodness, Ramy getting straight back into it. He does not care about the glove touch. He's getting right back in. Big shots from Ramy.
He used the glove touch as a post. That's diabolical.
Oh my goodness, Ramy.
Man,
Somehow Expert is still on his feet. I do not know how.
Man,
Another clinch. Oh my
To
goodness.
answer your question, though, what Expert needs to do here, he's still dropping his guard way too much. And if you're fighting a counter puncher, you know the counters are coming, you know he's looking to hit you second, feint. Pull that blow out, and then you hit the counter. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, if I'm Expert, I don't think that this whole kind of bum rushing him is really working right now. Ramy's just getting the counters. He's rocking him a lot more. You know, I feel like he's got to be a little bit more hesitant.
I completely agree. Let's see what our ringside analysis, not commentator, our ringside analyst here thinks. Tomato.
You know, again, it's just Ramy doing extremely well with the distance team. He got caught a couple times in that round. You didn't really highlight. He used that head movement in the corner and then circled out perfectly there. I think it's just, it was a more round filled with exchanges, but I think Ramy still had the edge.
Get ready. Box on.
Here we go, third and final round of this fight. It is a close one, but Ramy took round 1 with the knockdown. Round 2, in my opinion, goes to Ramy. So Expert, he's going to need at least 2 knockdowns on my scorecard to get just a draw. A TKO to win.
Let's go.
His only chance to win for me. Gentlemen, you know, what are we thinking? You know, I have it as Ramy. He went, you know, obviously took round 1 with the knockdown, took round 2 with the high pressure, and just the counters working perfectly. What are we thinking?
Man, I'm honestly thinking this has just been a typical Ramy performance, you know. We haven't seen Ramy and his skill recently. You know, we did see him in his last fight coming off a loss to Death Sentence, a, you know, formerly undefeated prospect in the middleweight division before unfortunately making decisions that prevented him from further fighting the UBA. So it's been a while since we've seen Ramy fight. You know, that was his last match. And we're seeing, you know, that same slickness come back against a more reasonable opponent, you know?
Oh, Ramy hurt Expert right there. A huge 1-2. Oh, but looks like Ramy might be hurt now. Expert, he refuses to lay off the gas. He continues to work off the front foot. He will not change anything.
Yeah, man. Ramy is managing that distance beautifully. Another beautiful 2-3 combination there from Ramy. Expert's 1-2 is just like struggling to break through the counters here, it seems.
That was a mean counter right there from Ramy. That was nice.
Expert's landing clean, though. Let's not try and ignore that. As many counters as Ramy is able to throw out. Expert just hit another 2 with a beautiful 1-2 down the pipe. Coming off the left frame angle there. Crowd is absolutely hyped in the background right now. Like right now, I don't think I've oh my god, kill me now. I don't think I've sit them.
Final 10 of the fight.
Sit down once.
This could be the deciding factor. Both men are throwing like their lives depend on it. Look at this. And that will be it. What a phenomenal fight with these two.
And going to the scorecards. Absolutely great debut there from Expert. And I believe, Ramy taking it home, rightfully so. An absolute masterclass performance there from Ramy. You know, losing that last round, surprisingly. Oh, it was only by like a punch.
Wow, look at that damage. Man, the counter in PTC, it's just so good. Look at that. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, let's not forget to acknowledge, like I said earlier, the damage might not reflect the same fight that we saw. You know, we saw Expert landing a lot there, but with ping being accounted for and acknowledged, realistically, we saw Ramy land the more clean shots. We saw him land the counters, so you can't trust the fight always to see the end of the scorecards, especially when it's on a high ping matchup like that. But thankfully, this time we saw a fight that was, you know, representative of the scorecards, you know?
All right, here we go. We move on to our next fight. It will be Bubba versus, Boxing Era Tony. Now, I have not seen Bubba fight though, but as I'm looking at this now, Bubba is, as he stands right now, he is undefeated in all of the leagues that he is currently in. And Boxing Era Tony, saw him fight earlier today. Very technical fighter, has a lot of space on his room scale. You know, I think this could be a very good matchup. Bluefish, you guys have any insight on this one?
I do. So, as known by many people in the UBA community, Bubba is coming in actually being Rico's brother. So, when you see his debut and his fights in the pros, you know, I think he had a few fresh blood matches. He was one of the first AMA prospects to have ever touched UBA. You know, when we first opened AMAs, this guy absolutely dominated. He went, I believe, 5-0. Left the A, or no, was that Scott? That was Scotty. But Bubba still had a very high undefeated record in the AMAs early on in its, you know, creation. Came out of the AMAs relatively quickly, and like you said, has been undefeated ever since, you know, carrying up Rico's name, you know? It's genetic at this point. You know, they're both menaces in their own respective divisions, and, you know, I'm curious to see if he can uphold the same legacy that Rico has, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see both of these guys fight. Obviously, I'm, as someone who bounces between lightweight and middleweight, I'm keeping an eye on everyone in the lightweight division. Right now, they're 10 and 11, but I think both of these guys are going to shoot up pretty quick. And I don't think we should count Boxing Era Tony out. He's a good fighter.
Oh, is this Boxing Era Tony, or is this Tony Hung Lo?
Boxing Era Tony.
Oh, it is Boxing Era Tony. Ooh. Dude, this is going to be an insanely good matchup.
Just waiting on Tony, but gentlemen, while we're waiting for him, do we want to take just one more look at that fight before? You know, Expert being his pro debut, Ramy, you know, I think Expert if he doesn't just sit there and run at his opponent the whole time and just walk himself into those counters the whole time, I think Expert could be a great fighter, because he does. He has a lot of power in his hands. He has a lot of technicality. He can hit his shots, which is the main thing. You know, I just think that him sitting there constantly moving forward, walking into the counters is the thing that's selling him.
Yeah, and especially in a system with move-in damage like this, you can't afford to sit there and walk down your opponent with your head on the center line, your hands down, walking right into another beautiful counter overhand there from Remy that he was just tossing him, you know? He was tossing 2-3, 3-2. That cross and that lead hook were doing him wonders in that fight, and, you know, it was a clear dominant performance, you know?
Yeah, predictability is never good. You never want to be predictable. But Remy was also doing some really smart stuff. He was making very subtle movements because he knew Expert was continuing to throw the 1-2. So he was bobbing out of the, well, both straight punches. But something he started doing in the third round that was really successful, second round maybe too, the posting. He was shutting down the one before it was even thrown. And that opens up so many possibilities. And you saw Expert adjust a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. Super smart stuff.
And, you know, the jab being the most important punch in boxing. When you shut down somebody's main tool like that, especially when Expert's favorite weapon is the 1-2, you take that one away, all he has left is one punch. And it is damn near impossible to not be able to predict one punch, you know? Especially when you are as skilled a boxer as Ramy, you know, showing why he's in the middleweight rankings, you know, to this day, despite the losses. Man.
One thing I do want to point out for Expert, though, is, you know, on his debut, he tried to come out, and it looked like he was trying to get a knockout right there. And that's where I think he immediately went wrong, is because, I mean, obviously everybody wants to come in, they want to win, they want to get the knockout, they want to be flashy, but it just looked like he was chasing it just way too much. And even on a not really on, sorry, how do I say this? A counter-heavy PTC on what we're fighting on right now, he was still looking very good. You know, he was rocking him. He was doing the best he can. I just think that he was a little too aggressive. I think he just wasn't in the right kind of mindset. I think he was just a little bit, I don't want to say scared, but I think the lights were just a little bit too bright for him. I think that if he comes back now after gaining all of that knowledge after that fight, I think Expert can be a great fighter, because I've seen him since like V3, V4. He used to be just an unbelievable just fighter, because that was when that kind of bum rushing style was, you know, the main thing to do. So I think now that he's kind of seeing how PTC is going, I think that if he can still sit there and move forward very, very much, because it still works, you know, especially when you have him rocked. But if he can just kind of sit back a little bit more and just kind of work off the counters more and get that counter strength, because it's just, the counters are just so unbelievably they're just so good right now. It's kind of hard to not win a fight if you're not countering, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd honestly love to see Expert come back with a return fight, showing more technicality, because, you know, like you said, it's a different time, man. He's coming in as a V3, V4 dominant fighter. I want to see if he can make the adjustments, you know, to have the fight IQ, to have the growth, to have the evolution, to make his way back in a more realistic damage system, you know, where you have to acknowledge the movement, you have to acknowledge the counters, you have to acknowledge boxing, you know? I would love to see that from Expert. I'd love to see his return fight. You know, it was an absolutely great debut, great performance from both, and, you know, I'm impressed.
No, I definitely want to see more of both of those fighters.
Absolutely. And, you know, we are having a little bit of a pause here, waiting for our fighters to show up. You know, Bubba being in the blue, waiting on Boxing Era Tony in the red. If we can get some updates on what's going on here.
I was in another server with Boxing Era Tony today. A little flex from him. He said that his house is so big, it takes him a minute to set up. So that is the input that I have gotten.
You know, rich people problems, am I right?
Yeah, dude,
like,
unbelievable.
I'm too rich to set up my VR properly.
But the higher ups did say that he would need about 2 to 4 minutes, 2 to 4 minutes ago. So, yeah, it is usually Boxing Era Tony the one that we are waiting on.
Yeah, you know, in that time, let's go ahead and take a look at the card and address, you know, what an absolutely wonderful night we have ahead of us here. You know, our main event being Tornado versus John. What are your opinions on that fight, man?
Oh man, I am so excited for that fight. I do not think there is a bigger fan of Tornado currently than myself. I will refrain from being biased on the commentary, but man, I have seen Tornado come from the very bottom. He is just an unbelievable fighter, man. It's so hard to explain how he does it. He just has so much power. He's so calm in there. He's so level-headed, and I just love it. But John Pork, man, he has defeated some of the craziest fighters, claiming a win over death sentence not too long ago, and that is what really kind of shook my world with how much of a good, just skilled fighter that John is. So I think that this is going to be a very technical fight, and as much as I hate to say it, I don't know if this is going to be a knockout. I feel like that these two, they're just so clean. They have good defense. They know how to work the ring. I think that this is going to be a very technical brawl in a sense, and I think it's going to go decision, but I personally think that my guy Tornado is going to be able to run away with it. Fish Blue, what are your guesses on that fight?
You know, let's not forget to address that this is also a run back. You know, we saw this fight before being the featured prelim of UBA 7, the most stacked card in UBA history. And they put on an absolute masterclass performance, in my opinion, putting on the greatest prelim we've seen in UBA history. You know, they set the standard for what do we want out of a performance, you know? Tornado and John set that standard already, so to see them run it back for a title fight, you know, both fighters have improved, you know, it's a new system, there's more boxing. Tornado especially, we've seen the improvements, you know, becoming one of the greatest lightweights to have ever done it, you know? Both fighters, they've cemented their legacies of one of the best, you know? I want to see if these could be two names that could become pound for pound threats in the future, you know, becoming like one of the greats, you know?
Oh my goodness, almost as the timer expires before we moved on to the next fight, Boxing Era Tony finally hops in and we can finally get back to some of these fights. As Boxing Era Tony will take the red corner, Bubba's has been in the blue corner, and man, I am excited to see this fight. Bubba's an undefeated fighter in every league he has touched. The Boxing Era Tony, he is just a very technical fighter, can get it done.
Yeah, man, Tony's coming in kind of like a little vet here compared to Bubba, you know. Fish, you know, welcome back, 1, 2. I want to see your opinions on this fight and these fighters.
Oh my goodness, already Boxing Era Tony's hurt.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a statement right at the start. I mean, I know Bubba's undefeated, but the thing is when you have somebody like Tony where he has a lot of fights and he has a lot of fights in other leagues, like, you get that experience, and experience means a lot. So as we go into this first round, I think we're going to see them feel each other out, and the question becomes, what can Tony do to Bubba? And that's what we need to see.
Yeah, we're seeing Bubba drop the hands a lot, and Tony start to punish him for it. You know, like we acknowledged earlier, Bubba is related to Rico, you know, being his brother, and, you know, showing a very similar fight style, you know? Take the first round, take some analysis, and usually in his performances, the second round is where he starts dominating.
Love that.
And you could already see, you could already see just now, Bubba slipping a shot there, slipping to the inside, landing a beautiful lead hook there.
Bubba bringing some wins over some pretty notable fighters. Jackman, a former UBA champion. Santi, Salty, and Avoid. In ranked, though, not in other servers, he claims. But the undefeated fighter has some big names under his belt. Will he be able to claim another one and start working his way up the UBA rankings and get himself into title contention?
Stop. Take a step back.
Yeah. You know, we're already seeing a solid start here from the two of them, showing some very technical boxing, and Tony doing very well to the outside. You know, Fish, this is more your realm, you know, the more technical fights. What are your opinions so far on this fight and the fighters?
Tony's doing a good job of shutting down Bubba's entrances, and a big part of that is, yes, Bubba might take a slight step to the side, but when he comes in, he's on that center line, and you saw him get hit for it right there. When you come in and you're just straight, you're not moving your head, you're going to be open to setting or to taking those shots, as we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and moving on, you know, from your analysis, let's get our ringside analysis over here. Tomato, what are your thoughts?
You know, you can see a lot of Rico Too Smooth style in Bubba, man. He knows exactly how to throw those technical shots and combo off of them. He's so technical with it. I think if Tony wants to get inside here, he has to just block some shots, parry off those shots, and then throw. He can't just be throwing mindlessly, as a guy like Bubba will pick him apart with these counters. That's all I got.
A lot of the chat has that 10-9 Bubba, you know, very solid round there for Bubba. And, you know, you saw a lot of that slick boxing you see from Rico in Bubba, you know. That reactionary time was clearly inherited from somewhere. I need to know what they got going on in their genetics, because both of them are just absolutely insane boxers.
Okay, ready?
You know, this is great so far. This is a great start to not start, but you know, a great fight to have early on in the card. You know, set the pace, set the standard. You know, for what we want to see coming forward. And you know, moving on to the second round of the scheduled 3, you know, 2-minute rounds only. So there's not a lot of time to work with. About only like 4 more minutes there of playtime.
Let's fight.
I want to see what these fighters can make in adjustment. You know, it's not. It's a full round and a third. You know. That's all they got left.
Good left hands right there from Tony. He's been connecting with those this entire fight.
Yeah, and we're hearing the new PTC counter grunts a lot, so I believe it's Bubba landing a lot of these counter shots right now. Yep,
Yeah,
right there, it's
so
Bubba.
look at this. Bubba is he's really starting to turn off the pace here in round 2. Kind of used round 1 to download some data on some Peter Yan stuff. But right now, he is really starting to push on the gas and let the hands go.
Yeah, Fish, what are you noticing right now?
I mean, Kaze touched on it pretty well here, but
Whoa, Tony's hurt.
there he goes.
Oh, Bubba is really starting to move up and push the pressure on him now, working the body. Can he get the knockdown? Tony's starting to recover just a little bit. Bubba, he is really starting to let the hands go, trying to get the knockdown. Doesn't look like he will get it right now, as Tony is slowly starting to recover behind that shell.
Man, Bubba's starting to walk him down. You know, that timing, that shot selection, picking Tony apart. Tony fire back.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing.
Tony stay back. The more he lets Bubba set up these shots, the more he's going to get picked apart.
I do not know how Tony is still on his feet after all of this. He has been eating some huge shots in round 2, but Bubba just cannot connect the perfect one to get the knockdown.
You know, I do want to hear, I know it's not the end of the round, but I do want to hear our input here from Tomato. What do you got for us, bro?
You know, you can see a lot. I don't know if y'all know ball like that. You can see a lot of that pretty boy Floyd type style in Bubba. He knows exactly how to use that head movement, and he's pull countering. He's tagging him with the cross. He's so slick. He's done this with every opponent he's faced in the UBA. It's so effective. If he continues to do this against guys, he's going to be in that title conversation very, very soon. I've got him up 2-0 right now.
Oh, stream struggling a little bit.
Man, what a phenomenal round right there from Bubba. I do want to point that out. Said perfectly right there by Tomato. It was just perfect, you know. He had his hands down, didn't care, was moving his head perfectly, picking the shots perfectly. There was not a lot of times where I saw Bubba sitting right there and missing, you know. He was just sitting there, keeping the pressure on, just absolutely, just unbelievably. It's just blowing my mind right now with how perfect that was. He was just looking amazing, just getting the damage on him. Surprised he didn't get a knockdown right there. Tony has a chin of iron for that. All right, here we go. Third and final round of this fight. Bubba on my scorecards is up 2-0. Just the power from him has been unmatched by Boxing Era Tony. Oh, as I say that, wow! Tony with a potential fight-saving knockdown in round 3. Wow! Oh my goodness, almost out of nowhere.
I know I ain't in that position, but I'd like to ask something now. You cannot keep your hands down like that on PTC, man. You're going to get tagged, especially by a big puncher like Tony.
Oh man, Bubba coming back, trying to get a knockdown of his own. He's starting to put the pressure on Tony. Oh man, Tony's hurt. He's trying to circle out. Bubba walking him down. He just cannot get that one shot to get Tony down. Oh man, Tony's hurt again. Bubba, he just continues to rock Tony. Cannot put him down, but there it is. Bubba finally being able to put him down.
7, 8. Hey, you all right?
Sorry,
Wow.
ladies, I have returned, man. Bubba firing back, I believe, is now 1-1 in the knockdowns, right?
Let's go.
It is Unbelievable.
Man, you can tell Bubba looks just like Rico right now. A shot, 1-2, body 1, 2 to the head. Yo, Bubba is mixing it up like crazy right now.
And Bubba looks absolutely elite. He looks like a seasoned pro right now. He has his hands down, moving the head well. Only got caught one time throughout this whole fight with such a skilled fighter like Boxing Era Tony. I mean, this is an unbelievable performance right here from Bubba.
Yeah. And, you know, let's not take that away from Tony. You know, not only is he landing clean, you know, taking a knockdown earlier this round, you know, proving, even if not for an actual victory, just taking that mental victory, like, yeah, I can knock you down.
Oh my goodness! And the final carry on top from Bubba! Wow!
What a replay! We need the replay on that. Oh my God, that was beautiful there from Bubba.
There it is, no question about it. Bubba remains undefeated, 3-0-1 in UBA. How about this kid? Wow!
Man, that 2 to the body coming over the top with the left. Yo,
Oh
I need to know what his parents are feeding him, because what the fuck? Oh my God.
That was unbelievable. A perfect showing right there from Bubba. Wow.
Man,
what, I mean, like you said, what are they feeding these kids, Rico and Bubba? They are just unbelievable fighters. Wow.
let's go ahead and get our analysis here from Tomato, see what he thought of that fight.
You know, it's incredible to see Bubba fighting like this, especially at this stage. I feel like if it wasn't for this room scale change to lightweight, Bubba would be struggling a lot more. Now it's only room scale, he has the potential to go for that lightweight championship in the very near future. I mean, this kid is insane. He has perfect punch placement. His timing is immaculate. He did get clipped in the 3rd round. He got dropped. I think that's just something that can be patched up because he dropped his hands. But, I mean, other than that, a great performance from 30-26. Excited to see him back in there.
Hey, Fish, let's move on to you, man. What words do you got for this?
I mean, I kind of commented on it in the 1st round, but you saw the adjustment immediately in the 2nd. He got off of that center line. He started using his lateral movement. He started hitting to the body because what he was seeing is that Tony didn't have an answer for those 2 things. And that's where you saw him start to pile on the damage. That's where you saw him become successful and secure those knockdowns, which were well-deserved. And, I mean, all credit to Boxing Era Tony. He fought a great fight, but Bubba's just good.
Man,
he made the adjustment and he sealed it.
Oh my God, wait. We're going Tony versus Clint Steele? Oh, I'm excited for this one. This is the one I'm excited about. You know, Clint Steele coming out. One of the ringside guys, you know, ringside VR, showing out, being a technical fighter. He's done multiple cam fights and shown, you know, he plays this game to box. When he fights, and this dude is jacked, oh my God. When you see him fight, every shot that he throws in the game that looks like it's thrown for power, it's thrown for power. So I'm really interested to see how well, you know, that IRL form truly translates against a solid test. You know, Tony hung low, coming out as, I believe, let's see, where is he ranked in the lightweight division? Yeah, Tony Hung coming in as the number 9 ranked fighter in the lightweight division. You know, this could give Clint the chance to, you know, actually take on the rankings here, unless this is an exhibition fight. I'm not sure.
Man, I am excited for this one. Both of these men are content creators of their own. Make sure you go check out their YouTube channels after this. But Tony Hung Low, something he said that he wanted known is that he has been improving since launch, and he has it all on his YouTube, his progression through the game. He also wanted to note that he is 31, still keeping up with some of these young cats going through. But I'm pretty sure that Clint is also... He's also, you know, a bit on the older side, but nothing against him because these two know how to throw, and they know how to throw hard. And this is going to be a very interesting match.
Clint is, I believe, 21 years old, you know, 10-year age difference. You know, Battle of the Unk, says Tornado says. Man, you could already see the slick boxing from the two of them. You know, Clint coming in, I believe, the faster fighter here right now. Fish, what do you have for us so far?
Something to keep an eye on that you've already might have been able to notice is Tony throws well and he hits really hard shots, but there's an opening in his guard.
Oh,
beautiful counter shot.
Clint takes it.
Goodness!
Clint!
We just got started and already he's down.
Okay, ready?
The run in, the right hook.
Let's go.
Just an absolute knock. Holy shit, the body shot. Man,
My
Clint
goodness,
has
the
been
power
sharp
of
with that. Clint's defense looking sharp here. You know, Tony's starting to struggle to pierce through, but, you know, showing he has the damage and, you know, the speed and placement to, you know, land through here.
Man, Bloob, as you said before this fight, just the power of Clint's steel, man. It is unbelievable. It's like he has steel hands, as you see right there. Just moments into the fight, dropping Tony like it was nothing. It was just a quick 3-shot combination. Drops him like it was nothing for him.
Absolutely. As you know, we're struggling a little bit, you know, some difficulties there, but you know, the stream should be looking a little bit better now that some adjustments have been made. You know, we return to the first round, you know, about 30 seconds left into the first round. And you know, oh, big overhand there for Tony. Okay. Clint's just been taking it with that knockdown. You know, he's running the round out. He's not rushing in bluntly. He's staying passive, you know, he's playing smart, and, you know, he's taking that first round, you know, 10-8. So far, what do you have for us, Tomato?
You know, this probably isn't the consensus opinion, but Clint reminds me a lot of how Cam fights. A shorter, more compact type Cam. I mean, at that, he is sloppy. He's a bit sloppier than Cam, but sloppy doesn't always mean good, because he's willing to let those hands go like I've never seen before. And that knockdown just goes to show. I mean, Tony needs to make an adjustment here. Just stay on your jab more. He's going in to try and combo you up with these hooks. Jab him and get out of range and rack up the damage. He's not going to find any success on the inside with Clint Steele. Back to you.
Man, yeah, I can't agree more. You know, I feel like Tony, he's letting Clint have a little bit too much free space here. You know, I think he needs to keep some sort of pressure in his face, but he needs to make sure that Clint respects it, you know? You know, I think just building off of that, I think not just the jab, but, you know, keeping more offense in his face, you know, keeping a little bit more compact and giving Clint more to think about instead of, you know, giving him the chance to set up his beautiful, like, rush downs, you know? Fish, what do you think?
Round 2 of a scheduled 3 in this one. Clint taking an early lead with the knockdown in round 1 and already getting right back to where he started, kind of working off the counters a little bit, trying to build his combinations off of the counters, excuse me. And so far, it's been working really well for him.
You made a great point, Blue. Right now, Tony is fighting at Clint's pace. It might not seem like it because he's the one coming forward, but the combinations that are being thrown are at the pace that Clint wants them to be thrown. What Tony needs to do is he needs to change his rhythm and tempo, and he needs to get off to the side, and he needs to utilize that jab.
Absolutely agree here. And, you know, back to Kaze, you know, what are you seeing right now throughout this fight?
You know, I mean, I'm going to have to agree with Fish. That was said absolutely perfectly. I thought I saw something a little bit, you know, different with how Tony was fighting.
Oh.
And I think you picked up perfectly right there. It is. It looks like since, you know, Tony's the one moving forward, it feels like Tony's the one ruling it. But this is exactly what Clint wants. Clint wants Tony to be moving forward like this just to work off the counter like we saw earlier tonight. And I think it was said perfectly. I think Tony, he needs to find his pace. It feels like he's trying to make himself faster to try and match Clint. I feel like he needs to just kind of stay back. He needs to take a couple deep breaths. He needs to relax. You know, he needs to remember who he is and that he has the power and the potential to beat this fighter because, you know, a part of me feels like watching this that he might be giving up on himself, but that just isn't who Tony is. It's just the way he's fighting right now.
Yeah, you know, what I'm picking up on right now is, you know, surprisingly, despite the dominant performance, a little bit of a fault here on Clint. Whenever he does get to the inside and he finishes his combination, it looks like he pauses for a second to see, you know, weather the storm, you know, see what damages are coming out. We could see, I believe, Clint being hurt there for a second. Why that's an issue. You know, he throws his punch, he goes back to center line, and both of his hands are out of the way of his face. If Tony can pick up on that and maybe pull off a pullback counter, we might see a beautiful, beautiful shot here for Tony that could bring this fight back in his favor. You know, so far, what do you have that round scored to?
You know, that was a much better round for Tony. You know, it felt like he was on the front hand more, but it's just so hard to tell with the counters because Clint was on the counter the whole time, and Clint already hits like a truck. So I'm going to, just knowing that it's PTC, I think I'm going to go that Clint took that round. Ringside analysis, Tomato, what are we thinking?
You know, I saw a lot more from Tony that round. Tony followed, I guess my analysis perfectly. He started utilizing the jab more. He started using Clint's hesitancy to throw on the inside to his advantage. That jab and that cross was on point that round. It might be a controversial take, but I thought Tony had that round in the bag for sure.
No, I don't think it's ridiculous to say that Tony had that round either. Me personally, I really think that Tony had that round, but I'm just basing it off of the fact that we're on PTC right now, and the counters are just so overpowered. You know, we've been seeing it today a lot. So I think that Clint took that round just purely because of the power from the counters, but it was definitely a much better round from Tony.
I can agree with that. I can get behind that. You know, I'm seeing the same thing here, really. I think so far, yeah, I have Clint up 2 rounds, you know, 10-8, 10-9. You know, I think with the counters and the absolutely beautifully placed shots here from Clint on the inside.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, those body rips are terrifying.
The hooks from Clint right now are just coming from the depths of hell. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we need to see some more footwork here from Tony because he's letting Clint get in too often, and he's letting him get too far inside. Because the more you let Clint on the insides, the more he's just going to rip that body, and you know that's going to hurt.
I'm really liking these combinations from Clint this round. You know, he's starting to mix in the body a lot more than he was in the previous rounds, and I like that. Because those body rips are really going to start breaking down the character and making those shots easier to hit and the knockdowns easier to come.
Oh, Tony's starting to hit to the body really well, though. You seeing those body straights?
Yeah, those body straights are definitely being felt by Clint right now.
Yeah, Clint's just not
good left
responding.
hook, stuns Clint. Clint is hurt right now.
Yeah, I was making this point earlier, but you could see, you know, Clint's not truthfully responding to many punches from the outside. It's just when he gets to the inside that he starts picking Tony apart. I think we need to see a little bit less passiveness here from Clint, as he might honestly just be making it a draw for himself.
Another good shot from Tony kind of stuns Clint. Hasn't been able to really hurt Clint, but there's been a couple times where his face is scrunched up a bit. He's definitely feeling some of these shots.
Ooh, solid combination there from Clint. You know, Tony firing back, but I believe
goodness.
Clint taking the better of that exchange. What do you think so far, Fish?
I think right now we're looking at a draw. This final combination, though, is going to decide it.
Oh my goodness.
Both fighters hurt.
And, you know, it is really just a matter of who takes these last few punches as we end the third and final round.
Fight between these two.
Yeah, This fight definitely moving to the scorecards here. I'm curious to see who took this. Oh,
And it will be Clint Steele will take the win again in a not dominant performance, but an unbelievable fight. And it was pretty known that Clint had that one in the bag. Man, the damage a lot closer than I thought. But man, what an unbelievable debut for Clint Steele and UBA. Watch out for this man.
Man, these early prelims have been absolutely insane so far. You know, these have been some great matchmaking. You know, Clint putting on a good debut, you know. And like you said, not a dominant performance. He was outlanded that fight, you know. He got outdamaged, but, you know, he did what he needed to do to earn the rounds. He did what he needed to do to take everything back in his favor. And he put on a show, man. He put on a show. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight. A lot of people are saying fight of the night contender. I'm gonna have to agree with that, man. There was just so many high volume shots, every shot thrown with intent to knock them down, man. But just the pure pressure from Clint and the counters, they were just way too much, and Tony just couldn't stay up.
Clint was 9 points away from a draw, as highlighted there. Interesting.
Just
Yeah, that was close. That was just one punch away.
That final combination.
We are going to unfortunately have to skip over NT versus Native. We are moving on to the fight that I'm honestly, this is my division, you know, this is what I've been wanting to see. We are seeing Ede versus Zoto Lord. You know, a new prospect here in heavyweight versus, you know, an absolute legend, you know, a solid heavyweight contender that's been there for a while, you know. It's been a while since we've seen Ede fight. Hold on. Kaze, you continue the broadcast.
All right, so I am just getting word that we are skipping NT, and Native. NT is not responding, and Native isn't home yet. So we are going to be skipping that one, moving on to Eddie and Zoto, as you guys can see. But, man, I just want to touch on that previous fight just one more time, as we're looking at the pure volume. I mean, look at these body shots from Clint. He's just going 1, 2, 3, 4 uppercuts straight to the body, and then moving up. It was just, it wasn't pure domination, but it was pretty clear that Clint had the upper hand the entire time. He was dictating the pace of the fight, and he just knew what he was doing, and it worked out perfectly for him.
Yeah, that was an absolutely insane debut. I honestly didn't know if he had it in him to beat a guy like Tony. Showing the improvements that he did. Tony has definitely looked a lot better than he did, his last few fights. But, man, this next fight that we're moving on to, Kayaks versus Zoto, I believe. Yeah, I mean, Kayaks being called Ede in this server. Do we just call him Kayaks? Doesn't matter?
No, call him whatever you want. Well, if we're going to call him, we should all agree. I mean, yeah, I'll
That's
call
what I'm saying.
Kayaks.
Like, do we agree to Kayaks, Ede?
Yeah. We'll do Kayaks. That's what everybody knows him for. But, yeah, a great fight. Also, the first fight of the prelims, the early prelims, definitely showed up and showed out. Much respect to those gentlemen for showing up and putting on great fights like they did. But now the prelims have started. Had to skip one fight, but we will start with Zoto and Kayaks. And, man, I am very excited for this fight. Zoto, again, one of my favorite fighters. Kind of reminds me of Ty Nato a little bit, Just fights very well. But, I'm really excited. I don't think I've ever really seen Kayaks fight live. I've only seen a couple knockdown clips, so this is going to be very interesting for me to see here.
We are going to move on to interview one of the fighters. I do believe it is Tony, right? Let's go ahead and get Tony up to the stage. Let's get Tony hung low back up in here, Just coming off that wonderful performance against Clint. Where's he at? Where's the big man at? Oh, it's boxing era, Tony. Oh, okay. Apparently the owners themselves have misinformed me. It is official. 1 HP is banned, and Maki is also banned. Both of them are banned from the server.
Maki is dead.
Man, boxing era, Tony. What a fight! What a fight! How you feeling, big man?
I don't. I don't want to say. I want to hang it up. Like, I want to, but I don't think everyone else wants me to, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like prime Tony anymore. I feel like I'm that Tony that was on that 8-fight losing streak. I don't know. I don't think I can continue fighting and keep winning, if that makes sense.
You know what? What if, theoretically, right, you just went back to being Daniel? Instead of being, the Tony that's on a loss streak, you don't gotta.
Nah, we need B-Ball back. We need B-Ball back.
B-Ball back. Do we need B-Ball back? I think it's time to go under a new identity crisis.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. You know what? Like Tomato said, I'm gonna go back to B-Ball, and I want to call out Tony.
But you want to call out Tony? Okay, beat your old identity. I see. How are you? Obviously you just said you had concerns. Feeling like having concerns of retirement, sorry. If not retirement, after Tony, do you see yourself continuing a career like this? Do you think you could see yourself making it to the top as you have in the past?
I think when I win, I want to fight someone top 5, maybe top 7. Go for that. I want to fight for the title one day. I don't know when it's going to be, but I know I want to fight for that title.
Man, what a plan. Well, great performance for you there. Don't take it too heavily. You fought, Rico's brother. Not Rico's brother. Now, that's his own legacy. Bubba is his own man. He's an undefeated prospect, and many consider him to be a title contender. I wouldn't take that too heavily, man. That was a great performance from you, and I'm hoping to see you in the ring again soon, man.
Sure. See you at the top!
All right, moving on to the next fight. Zoto Lord versus Kayaks. Man, this is gonna be a war. Who do you all have winning this? Do you got Zoto? Do you got Kayaks? I believe, Fish, you have the most experience with these two, right? Or with kayaks in specific, I believe he's more active.
With both of them, both of these guys are pretty active in our King of the Hills. They fought in TCL before. Both of these guys are amazing fighters. I think I want to give a slight edge to kayaks. However, Zodo on the PTC is going to be a huge threat. His counters are wonderful.
Yeah, man, Zodo. I think his distance management and his timing. Yeah, just like that, man. Just absolutely rush down kayaks. Man, Ede is solid. Or not Ede. Yo, I keep reading his name. Yo, Castle, can you change that to kayaks? It's confusing me. You just do me that favor real quickly?
Oh my goodness, what a perfect slip right hand right there from Zodo. That was beautiful.
Yeah, man, Kayak showing why he was in the rankings. No, he was inactive for a long period of time, though not due to his own, not his own fault. He was waiting for a fight, man.
Look at Zodo! Zodo, Lord! Are you kidding me? He is looking absolutely electric so far. Oh my goodness.
Zodo is the fight he was looking for.
Okay, get ready.
What a start.
Man, Zodo looks absolutely elite today. Look at these punches that he's landing. He's landing everything. He's mixing up his combinations. He is looking like everything you want and more in a fighter right now.
Yeah, let's not put down Kayak for that knockdown, though. He's been landing pretty consistently this entire fight. My one issue is I'm noticing he's standing like very, very tall right now. There's no bend, there's not much head movement. He's staying to the center line. He's kind of just walking towards Zodo right now. And you can hear those.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
Zodo!
God. You hear the grunts, you hear the PTC grunts, you know those punches hurt, and they put him out. He's
Zodo, Lord. Unbelievable showing here in round number 1. 2 knockdowns to Kayaks' 0.
Man, Kayak needs to do something.
Oh my God, Kayaks is hurt. Kayaks needs to be careful.
He survived.
Zodo, oh my goodness, Zodo just mere seconds away from a first round TKO.
That was terrifying. Fish, what do you think?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, all credit to Zodo, but this is exactly what the PTC was for. Before, you had the reality of you could counter and it wouldn't do much. But now you see Zodo getting rewarded for his timing. You see him getting rewarded for his shot selection, and you see him getting rewarded for adjusting to everything Kayaks is throwing. Kayaks really needs to mix it up here, or he's gonna get TKO'd.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That was one of the most unbelievable first rounds I've seen today. Not even just today, of my entire time watching these fights. I mean, dude, Zodo, it just looked like he didn't make one mistake that whole time. He was bobbing and weaving, just making everything happen, getting the knockdowns, and he almost had that TKO right there. I do believe that if Zodo had about 5 to 10 more seconds, he could have gotten the TKO.
I completely agree there. And Zodo, like we said, like I pointed out earlier, has some of the best distance management we've seen. It's hard to tell when they're in this small of a room space right now. Probably just a bad matchup of, room scales. We see this sometimes where some guys have more rectangular room scales, some guys have boxes, and it'll end up in a more unrealistic, kind of tire fight like this. But you can see it right now. That timing and that management of distance is what's giving Zodo an absolutely insane edge here. Oh shit, Kayak is almost out again. He needs to fire back. Yo, Kaze, what do we think?
Oh my goodness, right now, Zodo is just on another planet of skill level right now. He is just landing everything he needs to do. This is perfect. You cannot ask more of a fighter than what Zodo is delivering right now.
Yeah, man, he's looking like a title contender in his own right now, man. Kayak needs to fire back. He's not finding the rhythm right now. He's not fighting to his own pace, and I think this is the issue, like I was putting out earlier.
There it is. Kayak versus Zodo, though. Kayak's finally starting to fight back.
There he goes. Beautiful combination there. 5-6 there to the body, coming up over the top with the 3 to the head. A solid combination there from Kayaks, fighting back and hurting Zodo again, I believe.
Oh my goodness, but look at Zodo, Lord, right now. He's landing everything. He refuses to give up, having his hands down, moving
Zodo got
the head.
caught again, man. Kayaks needs to stop standing so tall. He's standing there, leaving his chin kind of exposed, leaving his body on a wide stance. He's leaving too open. He's too open
Oh
for
my
Zoto.
goodness.
Oh my God. Another knockdown in the second round.
I look away for 1 second and Zoto just does what he does, puts Kayaks down again. This is unbelievable showing from the Zoto Lord. And there it is. Kayak quits. Kayak throws in the towel. It's over. Zoto Lord
my
wins.
God. A TKO
Wow.
victory by forfeit. He threw in the towel.
Kayaks could not take any more of it. And Zoto Lord by round 2 TKO. Wow.
Whoa. That is insane.
He quit. He threw in the towel.
You know, I think there's something to be said about knowing when you've lost and taking a step back. I mean, when you're a fighter, when you're fighting somebody at Zoto's level, you don't want to get too hurt. You got to think about your career.
My goodness. Wow.
You
Very
can't get
well
that
said by
VRCTE.
Marcus, but oh my goodness, Zoto Lord came in and showed why he is still a main contender. Absolutely dismantled Kayaks to the point where he had to throw in the towel. Kayaks just knew there was no way he could have won that fight. That was unbelievable.
That was just an absolute war of a fight. This fight night has not had a bad fight thus far. This has been insane.
No, every single fight has its own argument for fight of the night, and that is exactly what you're looking for here. And this has just been unbelievable. Now, he didn't get a chance to talk at all about that fight. Tomato, what were your thoughts of that fight?
Oh, he's not here. Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm kind of trying to warm up for my fight, but yeah, damn, I didn't really see anything. Good performance from from Zoto Lord. He was working his distance very effectively, and yeah, that's what got him the victory.
My apologies, Tomato. You can go get back to warming up for your fight. Best of luck to you today, brother. But man, just what an unbelievable fight right there from Zoto. I don't think I've ever seen him dominate like that. That was just something out of a movie. Wow.
Yeah, that was just beautiful, bro. For this next fight, you know, I do believe we are going to have Bodhi step in temporarily to assist in Tomato's stead, you know.
Hello.
Welcome Bodhi to the stage. You know, our temporary ringside analyst. What do you have for us so far off of that last fight?
For that last fight, I won't lie, I came up a little bit late. I woke up a bit late. So, but seeing those two, Zoto, he kept the pressure. I loved it. He made sure that Plaxis couldn't get away and couldn't like heal at all. Even though the room was a lot smaller, he kept up the pressure. I loved that from him. Just overwhelmed him, and he got under, up. He did whatever he needed to do to land the shot.
Man.
Wow. Man, what an absolute pro debut right there from Zoto Lord. But man, I am very excited to see this next upcoming fight. Baz and Boiled One. Boiled One coming off of a dominant win over Sassy the Sasquatch just last weekend at UBA 10. And Baz coming in. He is a champion in multiple leagues, has unbelievable power. Man, this is going to be a very, very good one. I am excited for this one. Gentlemen, what are our takes for this fight?
There's actually, oh, what the hell? There is
Oh
some
my
news
goodness,
coming
look
in.
at this. Everybody look while you can. A Fight Night 23 sneak peek. Jester versus Smoking Him for the main event in Fight Night 23.
Jester smoking them?
Oh my
Man, this
goodness.
is a
they
night for
are
heavyweight.
feeding
Holy
Jester
shit,
to
Bodhi
the
Jordan,
wolves.
okay.
Look at this. Tomatoes on this card. Guts is on this card. Bubba and Stevie VR. That is going to be a banger.
Oh, this is
This
night of the
longer.
heavyweights. Reminder to the chat that this
Oh,
card
wait,
is
wait,
subject
wait,
to change,
wait. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. I just got word from Knight. Baz cannot make it.
Okay, so are we moving on to the next fight? Alright, word is that we are moving on to the next fight. Next up will be,
Man.
Tomato, our former ringside analysis, now turned fighter, it seems. Tomato versus Guts. Oh my god. Yo, that's a
Wow,
legacy
this-
match, man.
This is going to be a brutal fight, you know, the rematch everybody wanted to see. A brutal showing in the first time. Man, I am excited to see both of these fighters continue to improve every single time I see them. And, you know, I just asked it with the previous fight, but, you know, that happened. So what are our takes on this current fight now?
You know, honestly, in my opinion, so far, sorry, Fish, didn't mean to cut you off if you're speaking right now. I see your
You're
mic
good.
is green. Okay.
You're good.
I honestly don't see this fight being anything but a TKO, and I feel like it's gonna be a dominant performance. I don't know from who, but somebody's gonna beat the shit out of the other person, in my opinion. I don't think this is gonna be an even match. I think somebody's just gonna end up punching the shit out of the other person, and it's gonna be like no competition.
Dude, I have to agree with that. Both of these fighters, they do not go in looking for decision wins. They look to go and beat the piss out of the man that stands in front of them. And I'm gonna have to agree. I feel like on any good day, both of these fighters could beat the ever-living shit out of the other. So it just depends on who's feeling the best today.
Yeah,
You
Fish,
know-
what do you think?
You know, Guts slid me that TCL coaching fee. So off to the side before this match, we were having a little conversation about what he should do or what he can do to beat Tomato. So a little bit of bias, but I think Guts takes this, especially with Tomato on joystick.
Yeah, that's right. Guts being a room scale and Tomato being a joystick, Guts has the advantage only if he knows how to use it, but we've all seen Guts fight. He obviously knows what he is doing. So this is going to be a very good fight, a slugfest, if you will. Tomato coming out of the red corner with the gray trunks, Guts coming out of the blue corner with the black trunks. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hold on. The lobby is glitched, apparently.
Is the lobby glitched?
Yeah, Tomato saying the lobby's glitched.
Isn't it cool if
Yeah,
I
let's
get a quick say
both
what I think about this match?
both fighters disconnect. Yeah, let's see what our ringside
yeah,
analysis
Bodie, go ahead.
So, I mean, I fought both these guys before. Tomato, he's got that power and he's got, I would say timing. I don't know, it's a bit weird for him. But he's got that going for him. But then we have Guts with crazy pressure and just shot mix-ups, I should say. I'm not going to say shot selection, but he mixes up his shots so well. This is just to see, I want to see if Tomato can get his timing down or if Guts can keep avoiding that shot from Tomato. Like, that's the deciding factor for this fight, in my opinion.
I completely agree there, honestly. You know, I personally, this might be a little biased. I think I have Guts winning just based off of Guts' improvements. You know, I think we could see him take the charge. You know, if he doesn't do it in round one, I think it's reasonable to say Tomato can take it. But if Guts can keep that pressure for the first round, if he can take that skill that he has, that absolute rush down menace mentality, and you know, puts on the fight of a year, you know, the performance that he needs, I think he can take it round one here.
Man, I don't know. No diss to either of the fighters, but recently I've seen them fight a couple times around the leagues, and me personally, I think Guts is going to take this. But Guts he's just so technically sound. He picks his shots perfectly. He doesn't put himself in danger. Tomato, he can get a little excited sometimes, though. He just gets a little bit too excited. He moves in, puts himself in positions where he can get hit and puts himself in danger. And if he does anything like that against Guts, Guts will notice it and he will put him down. So give me Guts by a round 2 TKO.
Yeah. Let's not forget to acknowledge, you know, Guts, the former UBA BMF champion of the world. Reminder to use code UBA for your sheath underwear with every purchase. Guts was the former BMF champion of the UBA, you know. Oh, some slight lag complications we saw already. And, you know, Tomato has been talking about eyeing that BMF belt, you know. So this is a big, big legacy fight here for Tomato. You know, this is his chance. This is his shot at the BMF. And we're already seeing, you know, he's trying to sit there and engage with Guts from the inside, you know.
Man, already Guts is throwing some beautiful shots on Tomato and landing perfectly. Oh my goodness, looks like Tomato's already a bit stunned.
It does look like Tomato was a little bit hurt by those punches there. Fish, what do you think so far?
I think what we're gonna see here is Guts continue to adjust to the just kind of the fallbacks of joystick. Guts has the advantage that he can circle around. He's in his own room scale. Like, I think what we're really gonna see here is footwork making a difference.
Yeah, and pay attention to those grunts. We saw Guts land a beautiful counter there on Tomato's chin. And, you know, Tomato, I think, trying to fight like a BMF, you're staying to the inside. You know, he's not playing like typical Tomato.
Lots of clinches here. They got a bit of a downfall with room scale and joystick. And also, both of these men, they like to lunge in with a lot of their shots, too. So that is also going to be a huge problem with these clinches. They have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, another clinch called there. No fighter called for it, though. So I do not believe there will be a penalty given to either fighter this round. I think so far, it's mutual, you know? Oh, good body shot there for Guts.
Combinations right here from
Ripping to
Guts.
the left side. Oh, my God.
Guts has Tomato stunned.
Yo, that shit slingshotted. Did you see that?
That was beautiful. Man, Guts is looking absolutely elite right now. Ooh, huge counter left right there from Guts. You hear the grunt from Tomato, and now Tomato is hurt trying to get away. And Tomato, ooh, a bit of a questionable clinch right there.
Yeah, that was a bit more phasing there. We're going to have to watch out there, Tomato. What was that? Yeah, Tomato.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Now Tomato moves back in for the knockdown.
What a rundown! Oh my God!
Wow! Oh
That
my
was
goodness! Let's take a
vicious.
second look at this one. Look at this! Just the same two punches. Right overhand, left body. Right overhand, left body is enough to drop him. Wow!
Man, Fishmonger, what are you seeing here that can help mitigate some of what Tomato just did there to Guts?
I think the problem Guts is having is he's doing the exact opposite of what I said earlier. Like, he's not using his footwork to his advantage. He's meeting Tomato where Tomato wants to be, and a lot of these combinations that he's landing, he's getting the upper edge, but now he's down a knockdown. And he's not going to get it now, so coming into the second round, we need to see him change up his game plan a bit and play into his advantages instead of meeting Tomato.
I don't know about some of these clinches by Tomato. We're going to need to start watching some of these. He's walking right into him.
Yeah, and you know, that is an issue.
Right when he is rocked. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah. This is definitely an issue with, you know, joystick versus room scale matches. But, you know, it's bound to happen. Clinches are bound to happen, especially, again, on room scale versus joystick. Let's go ahead and move on to our ringside analyst and see what he thinks of the damn clinches.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, clinches kind of look both ways. I'm leaning more towards Tomato's clinches, but the game's seeing them how they are. But Tomato's knockdown, I mean, like I said, he's got the power, but that one wasn't even with timing. I think he just brute forced his way through. He kind of had to keep Guts off of him, and it just somehow worked. Guts needs to move around more, following off of that. If he can move around more, I feel like he would start doing a lot better as well.
Seconds out.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more, Bodie. Appreciate the intake as we get ready for round number 2. Tomato up a 10-8 with the knockdown. And on my scorecard, Guts was winning that round. You know, he was working perfectly. He was hitting the right shots, had Tomato stunned however many times, working the counters. But dude, Tomato just came out and showed that power that he has. But also, look at this right now. Tomato has Guts hurt as well. Guts hurting Tomato.
Guts brawling on the inside, leaving that body wide open.
Oh my goodness, a clinch will stop the action. But man, look at both of these men hurt. Right now, any of them could go down at any given second. Oh man, another clinch.
Stop. No, hold it.
Beautiful counter right there from Tomato. Guts really not liking all these clinches.
Yeah, and like I pointed out earlier, is when you're fighting a joystick, you know, we saw this in Sage versus Nakota at the extremity, you know? This, it's something that UBA has been trying to avoid for a while!
Big, okay,
warning on
what
Tomato.
is
Yeah,
that?
okay,
Come
warning
on,
on
we
Tomato.
have to do something about that.
You
Rules
look-
officials.
you
Tomato
look
is just
down.
walking into these.
Yeah, Tomato, you looked down, dropped your hands, and walked straight into him with the joystick. You gotta watch out for that.
Come on, we need to do something about this because it's every time Guts hurts Tomato, Tomato goes in for the clinch. Ooh, good combinations right here from Tomato, though, working the body of Guts.
And yeah, because Guts
Oh
is
my
literally
goodness,
wide open,
Tomato
man.
dropped
Guts
Guts
just
for the
left that
second
wide
time.
open.
Wow. A beautiful knockdown right there from Tomato. And he is just working his shots perfectly against Guts right now. Man, the fight IQ of Tomato, you can hate him, you can do whatever, but no doubtably he is getting a lot
that was
smarter in his
a
fight.
hard warning there for Tomato. That was blatant. You weren't even hurt there, and you just walked right into him, like intentionally, looking him dead in the eyes and walked right into him. Watch out for that.
Good shots right here from Guts. Has Tomato hurt? Guts just has never been able to get the final shot to put Tomato down for good.
Yeah, Guts, that was definitely on you that time.
You know, some of the conversation that's going on right now is people are saying Tomato, he isn't going down to the knees, he's not ducking down, but he's just walking straight into Guts every time he's hurt. Look, he walks into Guts there, and he's hurt. I don't know. I don't agree with a lot of this.
Yeah, the clinch calls are definitely weird. The clinch calls are always going to be weird when you're on a joystick versus room scale matchup. You know, we see this every single time. You know, again, at the extremities stage versus Nakota, this is something that UBA has been trying to eliminate ever since we saw it the first time in the new
Guts right now. Guts is putting the power on Tomato, and he just can't get the final knockdown. And, I mean, they're right. Even with you can argue with the clinches and take a point away from Tomato. Tomato is winning the fight no matter what. He's getting the knockdowns. He's being smart. Just the IQ from Tomato himself is just perfect. I'm going to send it over to the ringside analyst, Bodie. What do you have to say about this?
I have to agree with what you're saying. Guts, he's always known as a very fast fighter. Like, I mean, it's hard to find his pace and can match it with him. So not Guts. Tomato, what he's doing is he's brute forcing his way through. He can't time Guts because of the speed difference. So as long as he can land his powerful chops anywhere and get any Guts hurt, he can just start pounding it on him and try to get the drop as fast as possible. But Guts, again, he needs to move around more. If he does that, he's gonna have a way better time in the ring.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, that footwork needs to be used. I was pointing this out in the chat, but he's staying in front of him. You know, he's leaving his body wide open, and Tomato's one of those guys that'll rip to any opening he sees. And so Guts already hurt, man. He's just leaving his hands down now. He's leaving it free.
Man, you cannot discriminate the power of Tomato. Does not need a lot to drop anyone nowadays. I mean, you see it right now. He has Guts hurt, and then it's just an extra 2 or 3 punches, and he has him down. Tomato is showing why he deserves to be in the elite conversation against an elite fighter.
Man, Guts has definitely had a fall off, you know, since his elite days. But Guts starting to use his athleticism that he used in his elite days.
Oh man, big punch right there from Guts. Hurts Tomato. Tomato trying to answer back.
Ooh, good counter shot there from Tomato, hurting
Tomato
Guts
hurts
again.
Guts needs to pick his hands up. That's how Tomato is hitting all these shots. Guts is just walking into him with his hands down. And what is he doing? He's just throwing his forehead into Tomato's chest, just leaving himself open for these hooks.
Yeah, he's mad, man. He doesn't even care anymore.
Man, Guts, he just cannot get the knockdown. He's hitting him everywhere he needs to. He just doesn't have the power for it. He has pillow hands right now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like every shot that Guts is throwing just isn't seeming to hurt Tomato anymore.
Ooh, but those were some good shots right there from Guts. Hurts Tomato. And again, just cannot get the knockdown. But Guts is also hurt. He needs to be careful.
Yeesh.
Man, not
More
Guts'
sharp
best
shots coming in
game
here
at
for
all.
Tomato. Guts is just giving up right now, man. It's like you see him, he's dropping his hands, he's leaving his head open. We're not seeing a Guts that's really attempting to win anymore.
About a minute left here in the third and final round. And this one has been ruled by Tomato.
Yeah, Tomato just putting on the
my
performance
goodness!
he needed.
The power of Tomato! Wow! Are you kidding me? You can hate Tomato all you want, but he is making a statement here in Fight Night 22.
Yeah, Tomato coming back, this is his return fight after a temporary suspension, being out from the UBA entirely for about 2 weeks. Being unbanned and coming back, and showing a performance that we wanted to see.
Oh my goodness. Both men are hurt. Oh my goodness, Tomato! He puts the final nail in the coffin, and there is no way Guts will win. Tomato making a statement. He needs a title shot, BMF, whatever. This is unbelievable. Wow. You can no longer deny Tomato. He is elite. He is staying with the elite fighters. This is an unbelievable showing. Guts is gone. Tomato takes the win. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, did you see that performance?
This is definitely a win, oh god, Guts. Guts officially retiring. Man. That was quick, right after.
You guys can hate Tomato all you want. You can hate his style, you can hate his personality, whatever it is, but you cannot hate the performance he just put up.
My apologies, guys. I just had to handle business real quick. Let's get back to the
elite.
Let's get back to the action.
Tomato, please do not cut us off like that again.
Wow. Oh man, Guts is gone.
Man.
He's gone. Guts is gone. Guts has left the server. Oh my goodness, and another one bites the dust. Man. But I mean, you can't deny it. That was an unbelievable showing right there from Tomato, showing why he deserves to be in the elite conversation. Wow.
Man, that was a performance and a half, bro. Tomato showing out there,
Yeah, Guts is gone.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let Bodie speak.
Gone. Go ahead, Bodie.
It's just me, or is it like recently we're seeing a lot of Guts disappear? Monkey with the car crash, Guts just now retiring, Yomo disappearing. Something is going on. But seriously, after this fight though, the time, bro. After this fight though, Tomato, he put on a smart performance. I'll give it to him. He used his brute force power because he couldn't get the timing, and then once Guts gave up, he used that timing perfectly to start getting knockdowns again. I think Guts had damage every round, if so, right?
I do. No. Tomato had damage.
He had damage. Oh, never mind then.
No, Guts he was outperformed in every aspect right there.
Seriously though, I believe if Guts targeted the body a bit more, Tomato had a really open liver. I feel like if Guts could just target that a bit more when Tomato was stunned, he would have fallen. But I mean, seriously though, he put on a good performance. He just needed to work on his shot selection, and I think he would have won that fight if he did. Movement included too.
Man, nobody is acknowledging the performance that Tomato just put on. Did we all watch the same fight? Did you see what Tomato just did to Guts? We all had Guts winning by TKO, knockout, whatever. We all had Guts, and Tomato just completely shut him down.
Yeah, Tomato had that in the bag. He had a questionable round one and then just honestly adjusted completely. Alright, moving on to the next fight. I do believe we have Llama versus Gaethje. What's going on here? Do we have both fighters? All right, the code has been sent out to both fighters, waiting for them to show up now. And let's go ahead and take another look back at the card. You know, we addressed the main event last time. You know, let's look at, you know, some of the other main card fights that we have. You know, we have Llama versus Gaethje up next here in the main card. What do we think about that one?
Man, this is going to be a really good one, but honestly, Llama, I've seen him fight a couple times now. He is one of the best. I do not know who has beaten this guy, but every single time I see him fight, he puts on an absolute show. Give me Llama by decision.
Yeah, I do believe Llama's last loss was to the now title challenger of tonight, Tornado. And, you know, he's been looking sharp everywhere else he's fought, you know, outside of that. You know, even on the fight night with, you know, Tornado, he looked good. He looked sharp. It's just, Tornado's that dog, man. You know, there's a reason he's fighting for the title. Now, you know, moving on from that, after Llama versus Gaethje, we do have Sage versus J-Sway with Bingling, the former BMF champion, being the backup for that fight, which is an interesting pick, but, man, that's a hell of a fight. Sage J-Sway, am I right?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that fight. Sage kind of coming back after his injury that he's had. Still affecting him a little bit, but he's still going to be a lot stronger on that leg of his. And J-Sway, man, just an unbelievable contender. Coming in on short notice, stepping in for I Am Aura. Man, that's going to be an amazing fight to watch.
Dude, J-Sway has been reminding me a lot of Smoking Him, you know, who's fighting in the main event of Fight Night 23, I believe was leaked earlier. Jester versus Smoking Him for Fight Night 23 main event, a heavyweight bout, you know, possibly a title contender against me. You know, the greatest to have ever done it. No glaze. But, my fault.
No, there's literally been no one better than Blue.
There's nobody ever, forever.
No one.
Trust. But yeah, no, back on point, sorry. This is, unfortunately, I believe, another joystick versus room scale. No, actually, J-Sway's able to play room scale. I believe this is room scale versus room scale. Justin's not responding. I just called and spammed him. Ooh, it's Llama versus a Void. Joshua's pulling out. This is Llama versus a Void, okay?
Oh my goodness.
That's an even bigger fight. Oh my god.
Llama versus Void.
Oh my god. Okay, let's start with Fish, and then we can move on to you, Bodie. Fish, what do you have for, you know, Void being your damn TCL representative?
Well, there's a little bit of drama there. I might actually be leveling a lawsuit against Void. I can't discuss any further than that. My lawyer has advised me to leave it to the justice system, but me and Void have problems right now, let me tell you that. Now, as far as the fight goes, I think Void, to his credit, has gotten much better. When I look at Llama as a fighter, though, I see what Void wants to be. He has better footwork, faster hands, and Void might have him a little bit beat on power, but they're about even there too.
I'm getting reports that Gaethje is actually able to fight. Hold on. We're gonna need to look into that, but there are reports coming in from our number 2 ranked middleweight Excel that has talked to Gaethje, showing us him saying to hold on and to let us know for him. I don't know why Gaethje isn't coming to us himself, but there are reports that he is here and available to fight. The question is, do we pick our backup fighter, or are we moving on, you know, back to Joshua?
Well, who got the info that said that Joshua wasn't going to show up? Because someone went in chat, put it in the bold letters, saying that Joshua wasn't answering, he's not going to show up, and now all of a sudden Joshua's here. And we already hyped up the backup fight, and it seems like that fight's already made right now, and people are ready for that.
When HP is on my earpiece right now, he's saying 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And then we go with the Void.
Minutes. Okay. Yes, 2 minutes to hop in. That works. We have a Void here available as our backup. You know, 2 minutes running on the clock. You know, and our clock running actually has the fight timer. Let's go ahead and see in that time what our ringside analyst Bodie has to say for us tonight.
Yeah. So I came in expecting Joshua and Llama, but if we get a Llama versus a Void, I think this matchup would be great. Let's focus on Llama and Joshua, though, because there's still a chance that can happen. So Joshua, who I think a lot of people have known him as an out-of-tone demon in the past, he's got some power to him. He's also got some creative combinations that I would like to see him use in this fight. But Llama, he's always got that technical jab. I love his jab a bit. He's also really good at using that jab to apply pressure and open up with new combinations. And I think if he could use those properly, I think it would be a great way for this fight to go. It'll just be lovely to watch for everyone.
I completely agree, man. You know, it would seem we were given some, you know, some misinformation in the chat, you know, warning to John in the stage. Don't do that shit again.
What happens, you know? I mean, it wasn't really his fault. He was just trying to get a hold of him, and he wasn't answering. So that's
Gaethje
just
can't
his
find
knowledge.
his VR. Yo, why can't Gaethje tell us himself? Tell them I deadass can't find. Come tell us yourself, bro.
I don't know.
You're about,
At
bro.
this
You're just do a Void versus Llama at this point. This guy.
We're gonna do it. Void versus Llama. It has been called.
A call from the UBA committee has been shown. You know, we do not have the time to sit there and wait for Gaethje, and we do not want to push this fight any further back. Let's go ahead and just move on to Void versus Llama.
Oh my goodness. The people
Man.
wanted this fight. This is what everybody wanted. They wanted NA's finest versus Llama. This fight night is not been perfect, but in a sense, dude, it has been perfect. The fights have been delivering. People have been pulling out and showing in, but man, the fights have not disappointed, and that is all I am concerned about. Void in his signature fit with the blue shorts coming out of the red corner. Llama in the yellow fit and the yellow gloves coming out of the red corner. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Projected first round of 3 scheduled. You know, Void, Fat Boy was sitting there hyped in the corner. Both of them having pretty similar
my goodness!
styles.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Wow! Oh my goodness!
God!
We are not even 20
What an
seconds in,
uppercut!
and Void has met the canvas.
What an uppercut! What the hell?
Oh my god!
Dude, that
That
was
was
beautiful!
unbelievable.
Llama showing why he's the number 3 the number 3 ranked lightweight right now in the division. That guy just hit the craziest uppercut we've seen in a long time.
Oh my goodness, look at the hooks being thrown between these two.
Oh!
And there it is. Llama drops Void again. NA's finest is
my
crumbling in round
God.
1. What is happening?
If Llama isn't next in line for the title after this,
Let's fight.
if this is a TKO, I want to see Llama fight for the title next. This is
Oh my
insanity.
goodness. Llama will have about 50 seconds to get a first round TKO over NA's finest Void. This has been unbelievable. Void is hurt. Void is hurt and he gets the
Yo,
clinch.
Llama is picking that guard apart, Fish. What are your thoughts so far?
I mean, a great example to compare this to is what Bubba was doing, but Llama's doing it on another level. Look at the lateral
Oh my
movement. Look at
goodness,
the
Void
angles that he's
touches
taking.
Llama.
Void's got him hurt.
Man, I want to see
Llama needs to
Llama
be
versus
careful.
Bubba now. I
Oh
really
my
want to see Llama
goodness.
versus Bubba. Man, Void just stalling out the round, trying his best to survive right now, chilling in the corner. And firing back, finally using his timing. I think Needings is starting to use his jab. I think he's playing way too much in Llama space right now. What do you agree? You know, our ringside analysis here, Bodie. What thoughts do you have in here on the fight?
I'm not gonna lie. Holy crap, that opening from Llama. What did I say? He's going to use that jab. He's gonna throw some other things, but the real power punch comes in towards the very end. Big shots from starting out this fight. But it looks like Void is starting to use his jab again. Just
Void's
keep him more
hurt.
distance. Oh shit. I'm serious.
Void is
Void
hurt.
is
He
trying
needs
to
to be careful. Llama
Sorry.
smelling blood in the water. He is so close to a first round TKO and another clinch from Void.
Man, is Void going to be able to survive the round here?
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
another
shit, he's hurt
beautiful
again!
combination
He's
from
hurt
Llama.
again!
Void. He is on the plate.
Llama gets
And there it is.
Llama
Oh my
gets it for a
goodness.
round 1
Llama
TKO.
by first
It
round
is over.
TKO.
It
Void
is
is
all
out.
over.
Void is out. Oh my goodness. Llama wins first round.
Oh my God!
This is unbelievable. I cannot speak. Give him the title. Oh my goodness.
I have something to say.
Man, go ahead.
Avoid.
Speak your piece,
I know
bitch.
you can hear me. I know you can hear me. What did I tell you was gonna happen? What did I tell you?
I cannot
this is-
speak right now. Llama with the first round TKO. I had Llama winning, but by that, oh my goodness. What did we just watch?
I just want to say something for y'all. I know I'm analyst, but every singular time HB said, let's go avoid in chat, Llama drops avoid.
It's like a cue. It's like the Winter Soldier with like the words in his head. It's like
Dude.
he's controlling Llama.
Dude,
Like,
it was
fucking
so
real
good.
steel.
But
Like,
seriously though, those combinations from Llama were so great and I loved them. Avoid, he lasted it a bit longer, 10 seconds left in the round, but still got caught at the very end. I think if Avoid could just use his range a bit more, maybe stuck to more straights than his hooks, I feel like he would have had more damage output and probably pressured more towards Llama.
I agree. Thank you, Bodie, for your input. You know, in the fights that we've had you, we are gonna sub Tomato back in. We appreciate your work. We appreciate what you've done. Have a nice rest of your night, big man. I'll probably talk to you later.
Thank you so much, Bodie. Thank you. Tomato, if you have anything you want to say about what just happened, now is your time.
You know, just Llama showing levels, man. That's all I got to say about it. Llama
Oh, absolutely.
showing that he could be a title contender in the future.
Yo, you know what I love about fights like this? Is you get fights like this where you have the obviously more skilled contender, you know? But when you have a mismatch like this and you're having a guy like Llama that is an absolute knockout artist. He is a knockout artist in his own right. And when you have a knockout artist showing levels, you get these beautiful sequences, these beautiful combinations that lead to knockdowns, grays, stuns, and you have somebody scrambling for their life, seeing black and blue, black and white, and it's just an absolute war every time. All right, moving on to the next fight, the co-main event, Sage versus J-Sway. You know, you got Unk versus Smoking 'em Light. The second one, Smoking 'em Light 2, because obviously Excel is Smoking 'em Light 1, as we all know. You know, commentary, what do we think? Also, can we just make sure that J-Sway is on? Wait, can I not hear the stage? Am I tweaking? Say something, Fish?
No, there was a lull. I was about to talk. You good?
Oh, okay. Before you say something, can we just, before you start the match, Castle, can we make sure that J-Sway is on room scale? Can we confirm that? Also, Fish, you know what I'm realizing? You know, funny enough, the moment he left TCL and started fighting dirty again is the moment he got absolutely mauled.
It's funny you should say that.
It's really.
It's almost like that's exactly what I said was going to happen. And you know what's crazy? I just got, you know, my lawyer, he just paged me. I'm hearing that TDL might be closing. I'm hearing that Avoid might be coming back to TCL. We'll see about that though. We'll see about that. There's a little stippy. Oh! Right now I'm hearing Avoid, to quote him, NA's finest himself, I publicly apologize. I don't even know what TDL is. Enough said. Now, as far as my analysis of this fight, you know, I gotta go with Sage. If it's room scale versus room scale, I know we're waiting to hear that, but I really think the footwork difference, I think that's gonna be key. It will be a close fight, but...
Have you seen J-Sway fight?
I've seen him fight once.
Yo, I
have
don't
not
know if
seen
I
him
can
on
comfortably
PTC.
say Sage. I don't know if I can say comfortably that Sage wins ever. I think J-Sway is one of those guys that you could argue top 10, one of the greatest. Like he has that kind of name value, that kind of resume, that kind of skill. Skill for skill, he's one of the best who have ever touched the game. And you know, Sage coming in here, one of the biggest legacies, the first ever two division champion in the UBA. the one and only. You know, that Sage Mode Wolf right there. That's on. It's a big legacy match. You know, you got a man that's known for skill and a man that's known for legacy, and they both tend to mix in the two.
You know,
What do you think? Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'm just gonna ask one question: who counters better? Because I think that's what this is gonna come down to. Okay.
It's J-Sway. All right. Is this going to be 3x3? Yeah, this is going to be 3x3 since this is just a title eliminator. Man, Kaze, what do you think of this matchup? You know, having the experience with, you know, watching Sage as you have. Kaze? Okay, it seems Kaze is dead. Fish, what's it like being a two-man commentary team?
Oh, I'm used to this. This is exactly what me and NFTG do most of the time. It's usually 2 or 3.
Okay, Kaze, restart your Discord or something, because... Hold on, Tomato. Just hold off. Alright, starting off round 1 of 3, you know, Sage starting that bouncy footwork, you know, moving in and out of the way. Kaze, welcome back. Can we hear you now?
I don't know, you tell me.
Yes, we can. Welcome back to the stage, Kaze. What are your opinions on this fight and the fighters at play here?
I really like this matchup. I do. I would have really preferred the Sage versus I Am Aura fight more because me personally, I just think J-Sway, oh my goodness, right now, these two are just brawling right now. No one cares about that. But as I was about to say, J-Sway is a killer. He takes what he wants and he shows no remorse. As you can see right there.
J-Sway just ate that shit.
Oh my goodness, J-Sway, he does not care. He has power like anything I have ever seen. It is just unbelievable, and that's why I think J-Sway is going to run away with this fairly easily.
Man, J-Sway, many people consider him, you know, him and former, rest in peace, Maki. Him and Maki were supposed to be the top 2 of the light heavyweight division. These are the people that guys believe were the greatest, you know? And we're seeing him put on a performance with Sage just landing through that guard.
J-Sway somehow staying on his feet. I don't know how, but he can't forever.
Sage! Fish, what do you have for us here at the booth?
I mean, Sage he flipped it around perfectly. The exact same thing that got Sage knocked down that first time, he flipped it around and he just did the J-Sway. When you get caught in that compromising position, you either need to get the hell out of there or you have to throw back and make them back off. You can't just stutter and stand still.
Yeah, but J-Sway landing a beautiful counter shot there, rocking Sage, thankfully getting away with a questionable clinch there. Man, these guys are just exchanging, you know, J-Sway not acknowledging a lot of these shots, but firing back as much as he needs to get the damage.
Sage needs to keep those hands up. J-Sway is punishing him.
Well, a good counter shot there for J-Sway. Sage, you know, weaves his way out. Man, I'm hyped. I'm excited. If this is
big shot to J-Sway has Sage hurt. And Sage is down again.
J-Sway with another knockdown.
3 knockdowns in round 1, 2 for J-Sway, 1 for Sage, and J-Sway is on the brink of a back-to-back round 1 TKO here in Fight Night 22. Oh my goodness,
back to the
fight to go in round 1.
Oh, J-Sway just consumed another 4 punches. Sage landing beautiful
Sage hurts
shots to the
J-Sway.
body. Sorry, I'm freezing a little bit. You know, Sage calling out the ping in the chat. But, you know, Sage, regardless, just landing pretty clean here. Thanks, Jason. Thanks.
That will be round 1 dominated by nobody. But, oh my goodness, that one was a war between those two. J-Sway running away with the knockdown difference of 2-1. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a war. That was just round 1.
Tomato, what are we thinking?
You know, it's really... I'm going to be a bit biased about this because Sage is a tried and true member of the Fighting Nerds. But, you know, it's J-Sway playing extremely good the long game. The jab and the cross, it's working for him so effectively. And he's able to chain these hooks behind those combinations. Sage needs to start having a dynamic guard. Pick up the phone, slip with the guard. He's kind of blockheaded right now. And he's keeping those hands on a straight line. So I think if he patches that up, he'll find more success. Back to you guys.
I agree. I really do think J-Sway needs to up the movement right now because he's really just eating a lot of Sage's shots. Beautiful triple jab there into a 3 to the body there for Sage. And you know, we don't usually see people throw out those triple jabs, but when you have somebody as inactive on the inside as J-Sway is, you get these kinds of matchups, you know? You know, many people in the chat pointing out that J-Sway does remind us a lot of what Smoking Him style seems to look like, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You know, I said this earlier jokingly. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I said this
I love what
jokingly earlier.
Sage is getting close, and he's hitting a lot to the body, and that's what's really starting to hurt J-Sway. J-Sway, what I'm noticing is when Sage gets super close, there's not much he can do. He's missing those hooks when Sage gets close like that, and Sage is hitting the body shots. Sage is not missing when he's in the pocket right there. I think that is going to be the deciding factor.
Sage is just teeing off right now.
Oh my goodness, look at Sage having a phenomenal comeback round, but J-Sway hurts him.
Man, J-Sway's body is hurt, but Sage's head is getting pinballed right now. Yeah, this is the effect of PTC. You know, you're seeing these counters here. Oh, Sage is tired.
J-Sway starting to get his confidence back a little bit after hurting Sage. Sage trying to move around.
Sage for some good
Oh my goodness!
He timed him!
A beautiful 1-2. Or excuse me, not a 1-2. A double hook right there from Sage drops J-Sway. Wow.
What a shot!
Exactly what Sage needed to stay in this fight. But he's going to need to get through this entire round and not get knocked down. That will be the deciding factor for it. But man, what a confidence booster right there for Sage.
Man. And, you know, Sage taking this round 10-8 now from, you know, tying up the scorecards. I believe round 1 was 10-8 for J-Sway. So we're back down to a draw if J-Sway cannot bring this knockdown back for himself. But if anybody in this division was able to bring a knockdown back for himself, if not Sage, I would say J-Sway, you know? You know, proving just now.
Sage though, as J-Sway hurt.
Shots there.
J-Sway needs to be careful. He could go down for a second time.
Oh, a second
and he
time
will.
Sage.
Look at Sage go. Oh my goodness. Sage is putting up a phenomenal fight right now. 2 knockdowns to J-Sway's none here in round 2.
This could be performance of the night.
Final seconds of round 2. Sage
J-Sway tries to survive.
Take it.
Yeah, J-Sway fighting to survive right now.
Oh my goodness, look at these punches right now from Sage. J-Sway almost knocked Sage down. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful round 2 right there from Sage. Tomato, what are your thoughts?
You know, really, Sage is doing so well. Just making those adjustments, man. He sees that he needs to slip first and then go inside. If he keeps his head on that center line, J-Sway's obviously going to find those 1-2 shots. I mean, if I'm Sage right now, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. He secured a 10-7 round. The body work from him was great. But, I mean, yet he was able to, you know, work off the body work and add some extra torque on that hook. So 10-7 round for Sage. I see the momentum shifting.
Well said, Tomato. Thank you so much. And man, everyone is loving this fight and this card itself. Fight Night 22 will go down in history for these fights. This is unbelievable, but we will get ready for the 3rd and final round between these 2 absolute gladiators, Sage and J-Sway. It will all come down to this. They are about not tied up, actually. Sage might have taken it with a 10-7 right there with 2 knockdowns.
Man,
oh
so this is now 1 point up for Sage right now due to the game scoring. And, you know, if anybody could bring back a comeback, you know, I think it would be J-Sway, you know? We're starting to see J-Sway use some of that speed.
Sage catching J-Sway.
Oh, J-Sway's acknowledging Sage's punches now.
Oh my god, these men are going back and forth. Who will crack first? Oh, the ref will get in between it.
Man, Fish, what do you have for us?
You know, at the end of the round 2, we saw J-Sway switch it up and get more aggressive, and I think that's what we need to see more here if he wants to secure that knockdown to even it out. what we're seeing here right now is Sage is pushing into him. He's landing 3 or 4 shots to the body before Jay can get him with 1 shot, and that's getting him the punishment damage. That's what's getting him knocked down. If Sage is in the lead right now, and Jay is hurt again, you can see it in real time.
Oh, a huge right hand from Jay Sway dropped Sage.
Man,
Wow.
Fish, what were you saying?
That's
Oh
the
my
commentary curse,
goodness.
man.
Wow, no man will give up in this one. This is unbelievable. So many fight of the night contenders tonight.
Man, if anything, I think this is fight of the
Oh
night.
my goodness, look at Jay Sway though. Jay Sway is coming back with huge shots, but Sage connecting some of his own. This is unbelievable. These men are just throwing everything they have here in round 3. Halfway through the round, it is no telling who can come out with this.
Absolutely. Man, we're seeing Jason with another hurt face.
Oh my goodness, Sage hurts Jay Sway. Jay Sway trying to get out of the way.
Sage is on
Can
the
Sage
hunt.
close it on the knockdown?
Sage is on the hunt.
Sage smells blood in the water. Can he get it? He is chasing him down, throwing everything he's got left here in round 3. He
Man,
cannot
Sage
get
is
it so
tired,
far.
but that
Jay Sway
won't
moving
stop
around.
him.
Stop. Take a step back.
Oh, the ref will separate them, man. This is an unbelievable fight.
Man, Jay's hunting a
Oh,
bomb.
a huge
Jay
right hand
is
from
hunting
Sage.
a bomb.
Another one. Jay Sway is hurt. Oh my goodness. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I cannot speak right now.
Man,
Look at
Sage
this.
is gassing
They will
himself.
not quit.
Man, Fish, what are you seeing right now?
I mean, the
my
first thing
goodness.
we're seeing, of course, is Jay Sway's
goodness.
iron chin. He's been doing his neck strengthening exercises. We can see Sage gassing a little bit. To Jay's credit, he is working out.
Oh my goodness. That might just be it, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Sway.
Every time Fish says something, Sage goes down. Every single time. Every single time. Fish, continue what you were saying.
Oh my God.
What I was saying
running
is
down
that we can
in the
see.
middle of the ring. Look at this. Oh my goodness. What a fight. Everybody get on your feet and clap for these gentlemen. You just saw one of the greatest fights of all time right there.
Oh, Jay Sway pulling out the fire. Beautiful win there for Jay Sway by 2 points.
Oh
What a
my
war.
goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have just watched one of the greatest fights of all time. That was an absolute slugfest. Look at the numbers. I was getting lightheaded calling that fight. That was unbelievable. Man, bonuses going out to both of those fighters tonight. Castle, make sure you pay them for that fight. That one was
Oh, you can't.
unbelievable. Wow.
People are saying this rivals Maki versus Cam. People are saying that this really does rival Maki versus Cam. Like that's a legitimate argument in the chat right now.
Yeah, what am I talking about? Jester, go pay your fighters. You wanted more fighter pay? I got 2 guys for you. Jay Sway and Sage. You pay them everything you have right now. That was one of the greatest fights I have ever seen. That was unbelievable. Wow, and that was only the co-main. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our lightweight title fight. Man, this title has been in the hands of nobody for as long as we can remember, but 2 men will finally face off to put an end to this. It will be John Pork Jones and Ty Nato. Ladies and gentlemen up here with me on the stage, what are we thinking? Who do we think has this fight? Our final predictions before we get going.
Man, I got Ty Nato winning. I love John. I love both of these fighters. You know, I'm sure with both, but I think we've seen the more skillful performances as of recently from Ty Nato, and it would tie up the legacy. John winning the first fight just narrowly. It was again great performance from them both. It was evenly matched, but John just making it better. Just being the better man that night, taking the fight in his favor towards the end. I think Ty Nato is going to be able to pull it out the fire this time. I think the improvements and the damage system are just going to be in Ty Nato's favor. Fish, what do you have for us?
I've seen a lot of improvement from John recently in TCL. I've seen a lot of good stuff from Ty Nato. This, normally for fights, I tend to pick a person that can win, but this one, I don't know. It can go either way. I think both of these fighters have just been improving and improving and improving and leveling up. And it's impossible for me to look at this and say, this guy's going to win. It's just a great, great fight. Like the perfect matchup for lightweight.
I
The
completely
clock
agree.
is over. The wait is over. These two men are ready to go now.
Yeah, and
Ladies
there will
and
be no
gentlemen,
walk-off for
lightweight title
this.
fight.
This is going to be insane. John Bones Jones versus the Ego Killer, Tynado. Tynado in the red corner, John Jones coming out of the blue. Holy shit, I have been hyped for this fight ever since UBA 7.
Okay, ready?
You know how long it's been since we've had a proper lightweight title fight, especially between two demons as of these guys? It's been months. We haven't had a legitimate lightweight champion in months. And I'm excited, bro. Moving into round one, projected of 5. We're starting off some solid shots here from Tynado Fish. What are your opinions?
You know, what I'm really going to be looking for here from Tynado is, as John takes a little break there, I guess, I want to see from Tynado, he has to use his movement to his advantage. And what I think we're going to see from John is a lot of incredible, responsible defensive work. He's really been working on his guard.
Ooh, good shot there from John. Tynado trying to fight his way to the inside. Another good shot on the inside there for John.
Shots right now. Tynado needs to keep his guard up.
Ooh, good shot down the pipe there for Tynado, shooting that left hand right in. You know, Tynado fighting on a southpaw right now.
If I'm these two gentlemen right now, I'm a little bit nervous. This fight night has shattered all expectations that anyone has had. This has just been unbelievable. And now the main event, I mean, with already a lightweight division that's in jeopardy, I mean, a bad fight here, who knows? But I don't want to put that in the universe. I think that these two are going to put on an absolute war right now. As already Tynado starting to put it on the pressure of John.
Dude, this shit is... This is crazy. We're seeing an actual legitimate lightweight title fight that isn't turtling in a draw. You know? Well, I mean, maybe. But let's not put that in there. let's not will that into existence, you know? Tynado with a sharp 2 to the body there. You know, the PTC added, you know, downward body effort. So when you punch down, you get body effort now. So the taller fighters that were struggling to get damage and those guys that like to throw straights to the body, they're loving this patch, you know, and that's another tool added to Tynado's kit. And you can see those tools in Tynado's kit.
Tynado has John hurt. Tynado has John hurt.
Yeah, John he's very stationary right now. I'm not seeing much footwork from him. I'm seeing him kind of just shell up and wait for his chance right now. And I think it could just be that he's looking for an adjustment round, but if this is truthfully just his footwork in general, we're not going to see a very nice night here for John Jones.
Big shots from Tynado. John is already kind of starting to shell up and moving for the clinches.
Man, this is a fight so far. Tynado, I think, very clearly being up on the round so far. Looking for a knockdown, but John with a beautiful counter. They are both hurt. They are both hurt.
Oh, another beautiful counter right there from John. But Tynado hurts John again.
These guys are training right now.
Tynado blood in the water. And
yeah, Tynado's taking the better of these exchanges, but every time John lands that one clean punch, it hurts. And when I say it hurts, Tynado, he doesn't get grayed. No, he's immediately rocked and has to run for his life. Like, he's fully grayed after the end of those stuns. That is what we need. He's downloading data right now. I want to see what John can adjust to in the second round, and I want to see if Tynado can make the adjustments to the adjustments, you know? What do these fighters change? Tomato?
Oh, yo. I didn't even know. Yeah, just a great all-around round there for Tynado. You know, I'd like to highlight, he had incredible work back in the Winter Cup. I think he's destined to be the champion tonight. If he's able to get past Bones' long arms, man, I think he can just rip that body and find a lot of success for the damage. I got a 10-9 Tynado.
I completely agree. I think those long arms are starting to prove an issue, though. You can see John transition from that high guard to kind of a long guard, and Tynado's kind of struggling to hit through it without those body straights. If John can like mitigate those body strays, you know, every time Tornado ducks down to the body, you see it just like that. If John can time a hook, we might see a knockdown here for John. That might put Tornado's lights out because he leaves his head very, very exposed when he goes for those, you know? Kaze, what are your opinions so far? What are we watching? What are we watching?
I mean, for me, this looks like Tornado's kind of walking through John like it's nothing. The only really good thing I've seen from John was that one counter that rocked Tornado. Tornado's staying on the front foot. He's moving his head a lot too. John isn't catching him with a lot of these counters, and Tornado just looks amazing right now. So far, I have it 10-9 Tornado in round 1, and right now it looks like he's doing the exact same thing. He's making John panic. That's why there's so many clinches. John is running around. He's trying to get out of the way. He is panicking. He's scared. He doesn't want to be hit by these Tornado bombs that he's throwing. So I think Tornado just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and I think he can get himself a win and claim the belt.
We're seeing John finally starts to up the pace and punch back.
Oh,
You know, he hasn't thrown many strikes at all this entire fight, you know?
Let's go.
If you look at the, sorry, I'm eating a burger right now.
Break.
If you look at the amount of the amount of punches and the amount of significant punches thrown this round and compared to who has landed, who has thrown, Tornado's winning pretty much everything. You know, he's thrown more, he's landed more, he's had more accurate shots. John is just not doing enough to keep up with Tornado right now.
We're seeing a complete lack of an establishment of the jab from John. And with him having the range advantage, that's exactly what he needs to keep Tornado from coming in and landing these combinations.
I agree. I feel like John needs to establish that range. He has crazy long arms, not just for lightweight, but like for pretty much any damn division. I feel like he really needs to keep that hand out there. He needs to use that reach. He needs to keep Tornado away from him and start piecing him apart from the outside, because that's where Tornado's defense lacks the biggest, you know? So Kaze, let's move on to you. What do you got for us so far?
man, I'm enjoying this right now, you know? I'm kind of trying to pick up what each of these fighters are trying to put down. You know, it looks like Tornado came in here with the game plan, and he's sticking to it perfectly. It looks like John might have had a game plan, but just the pure pressure from Tornado right now is causing him to just throw it out the window and just try and work on the spot, which sometimes works, but most of the time, especially when the other person is working with their plan, does not end well. And right now, to be fair, I think Tornado was winning, but right there, John catches Tornado and hurts him. Oh, huge left overhand from Tornado hurts John.
Hey, wait, John, what was that turnaround there? You saw that, right?
I did.
John,
yeah.
don't do that again. Don't turn your back to him in the middle of a fight ever again.
Final
Better not be
couple
pulling the
seconds of
Ethan, bro.
round 2. John is hurt.
Oh,
John is hurt. Tornado
again.
trying to get a knockdown, and John will survive to see another day. Man, that was a close one. Our ringside analyst, Tomato, do you have anything for that round?
You know, it's really looking like John Bones is getting pieced up with these combinations. A lot of risky clinches there for him. The combos were great from Tornado that round. I suggest that he slows down his pace, though. This is 5 3-minute rounds. 5 3-minute. Oh, yeah, 5 3-minute rounds. It's 5 3-minute rounds in there. He'll probably be gassed by the third round, and that's where John's going to start coming on to him. So I would just reckon that he takes a step back. I think he's up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're seeing here as well is John is trying to adjust, but he's doing it too slowly. He is hitting some counters, he is getting some good damage in on Tornado, but every punch that John has thrown, Tornado has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for.
Alright, you know, Maki's brother James is officially banned from the UBA.
Break. Step back. Let's go. Stop. Step back.
John
Solid
doing what
exchange.
he hasn't been able to do most of the time. He's starting to take center of the ring right now, starting to push forward on Tornado. Might be trying to switch up the pace because, you know, John, this fight really hasn't been his in my eyes. You know, I feel like Tornado's just been working his pace, working his range too. And, you know, John, he needs to start being more aggressive. He needs to start being who he is, and that is a killer, and he needs to find that.
Yeah, and I like that you point out John is most definitely taking his time. He's taking control of the center of the ring. he's starting to push forward now that he's taken 2 rounds to gas out Tornado, you know, best he can. He's taking his physical stats, and he's trying to wear down the cardio and the gas tank here of Tornado.
Oh, big shots from Tornado right now. John is just eating them, though. The chin of John Pork Jones is unbelievable.
Yeah, we've seen that overhand right of Tornado just get flung out so often. It seemed to land his mark, not very heavy, but to land clean every single time. You know, it doesn't have too much power behind it, but that overhand is landing, and it's scoring him pretty fucking heavy points here.
Looks like John is a little wobbled there from Tornado's punches. Can he continue to go? Oh, Tornado's really starting to put him on now. Tornado continuing to be aggressive. John trying to answer back. He just cannot connect on a lot of these punches.
Yeah, John is just not firing enough. I feel like we need to see a little bit more volume here from him, because right now what he's throwing, it's like Tornado's able to see if Tornado's one of those guys where he'll get overwhelmed, but when you don't put enough pressure on him, he will excel. He's seeing these few shots. You see that roll under he just did? Rolled under,
Big
came back
punches
over with the
from
2 in a
Tornado.
second, like a fraction of a sequence in that sequence, like a fraction of a second in that sequence there. He rolled under a hook and just landed a beautiful overhand right.
Oh my
And we're
goodness.
seeing Tornado tee him off.
Look at Tornado. He looks beautiful right now, but John is also catching him too. You have to watch out for that. John had Tornado hurt right there. So John, he's not connecting about as much as I think a lot of people think he is, but he has the power to just hit a couple of those 1, 2, 3 hit stuns.
You know, something else that we're seeing as well is John, as he's coming into these exchanges. Oh, he's got him hurt.
John
He's
has
leading with the
Tornado
hook,
hurt.
though. He's letting
John
Tornado
trying to
answer.
chase him down. He smells blood in the water. Can he get the knockdown? Tornado will recover to a good extent, though. And John missed his opportunity. Sorry to cut you off there, Fish. What were you saying?
What I was commenting on was John in these exchanges, as Tornado's coming in, he's leading with a hook. So if you block that shot or you step in quick enough, all of the side of the face that you threw that wide hook on, and your chest and your body is going to be open. That's why Tornado is seeing so much success. He can land 2 quick light punches in, but 2 quick light punches 20 times, that's a lot of punches.
Yeah, and that damage will stack up. Let's see what our ringside analyst thinks of this. Let's get Tomato up on the stage.
You know, I see the same problem that John has had in his past endeavors for the title. He's frozen. He's freezing up right now. Tornado is landing so much more damage at a higher clip right now. John's trying to rely on this one shot, and when this one shot does land for him, he's letting the moment pass him by. I mean, he would be down in this fight at this stage. I got Tornado up 3-0. John needs something big.
Something
Couldn't agree
big
more.
indeed.
John's going to start needing some knockdowns. He's going to need to start proving why he is in this fight right now. And Tomato, you said it perfectly. John he's rocking Tomato. He's getting those punches that he needs. He just cannot finish it, and it doesn't really look like he's starting to chase it. The one time he really did chase it was in that round, but I still don't think it's enough. I think it is 3-0 for Tornado right now.
I completely agree. I think Tornado's had a pretty big advantage here, you know, just significantly outlanding John, graying him there a little bit. He definitely had him hurt with that punch there.
Well, John's a little stunned right now, continues to move forward though. Good movement right here from Tornado.
Well, Tornado's upping the pace again.
Good counter shots from Tornado. Oh my goodness, the counter shots from Tornado! There it is! Tornado claims a knockdown over John Jones! Wow!
Look at me. You okay?
What a body rip!
Let's go.
Man, if anything was to solidify the fight in Tornado's favor so far, I think it would be that, you know? That was a beautiful, beautiful knockdown there we just saw from Tornado, securing the round in his favor, if not the other rounds to, you know, be held in his favor. Friendly reminder to the chat, this is a very, very high ping match, as we've seen from John in the chat. So what we see on the spectator might not be what's actually happening in the fight. Do not trust the damage as much as you would normally.
Yeah, that's a big thing in the game. Yeah, it is. Like, sometimes you're watching a fight and it feels like one person is winning by so much, and then you look at the scorecards and they are very, very different. So you have to watch out for that all the time. But I think that Tornado has done clearly enough to take this fight, and he already has the knockdown, man, I think Tornado is just running away with this one.
Good shot down the pipe there for John Jones. Another clinch initiated. We're definitely, that was a little bit questionable of a clinch. You know, I do think we're starting to see the ping starting to take factor. Tornado's trying to pour on the pressure here.
John starting to sense a bit of urgency, trying to move forward now. Final 10 seconds here in round 4. Only one to go. John.
Tornado is ripping right now.
Oh my goodness. Big shots to end the round.
We've just seen an honest masterclass here from Tornado, and it seems like as Tomato pointed out earlier, John seems frozen up. He doesn't seem like his usual self. He seems like he's fighting kind of at not even Tornado's pace. He's fighting beneath Tornado's pace right now. He's not able to match what's being put out right now.
He's kind of letting it. Oh my goodness! What a counter left right there from Tornado. But John, you know, his hooks are starting to swing a lot more. You know, he has his hands down. I think John is really starting to get tired, while Tornado looks like he's at the same pace as he's been all fight. Tomato, what do you have to say about that?
Tornado is clearly the faster man right now. I mean, John is like, he's letting Tornado off. Like, Tornado can just throw his 3 shots and then come out and rinse and repeat. It's beautiful work from Tornado. This is exactly how you beat John Bones Jones. It's a complete shutout right now. It's 4-0, Tornado. I mean, John needs to pull something out of the fire, certainly. I just don't think he has it in him right now. Because John is just, I don't know, it's weird.
I think what we're seeing here is John lose a little bit of his composure. And I think, to his discredit, composure is something that John struggles with, unfortunately.
Okay, ready?
And another thing as well is the ping. I think John is letting the ping influence how he's fighting. When you are in a high ping match, you don't want to turn your volume down. You want to do what Tornado is doing and throw more. You have to be worried about connecting. You have to be worried about damage. Doing less isn't going to solve that problem.
Yeah, especially in a system where you do not truly have to commit to your punches to get the full damage and extent out of them. You know, if you are able to land 3 light punches clean, you're probably going to do a lot more graying than if you were to land 1 heavy shot that probably didn't land on your opponent's screen, you know?
Yeah, ping definitely a big factor in this game and in this match itself too, but it is too late for ping to be anything to decide this match. Oh my goodness, John had Tornado hurt right there. Had Tornado running, he will get a clinch. Kind of turned his back to John too. Tornado needs to watch out for that.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd turnaround.
Oh my goodness.
Leave that to the refs. John's starting to land clean now. Those body rips are starting to hurt.
That was a mean combination right there from John. Oh, but Tornado starting to come back.
Nah, John landed another clean shot there. Oh, John seemed back.
What is going on? The ping is getting crazy right now. What was that?
Man, John seems frustrated, bro.
I feel like John is starting to give up on himself, you know. He mentally feels like he's down, hasn't been able to get any knockdowns this fight when Tornado's able to get one. And it feels like, oh my goodness, but John has Tornado hurt again. Tornado's starting to circle around, get away.
Tornado shuffling to get away, surviving the onslaught there from John, as John just seems to give up, starting to punch like Warden now.
Halfway through the 5th and final round, John, I mean, if I'm John, the best case scenario is you get a knockdown or 2 in this round, and you know, some of the previous rounds you've won that you feel like you've lost. So I mean, John really needs to fully empty the gas tank, give it everything he's got right now, and it just kind of feels like he's already given up on himself. But right now he has Tornado hurt. This would be the time to move in.
There he goes. There he goes. John's finally starting to push in.
Oh my goodness, both fighters are hurt right now. Ooh, a minute left here in this lightweight title fight. Who will get it? Both men showing immense amount of heart here in round 5. John hurts Tornado again. He just cannot get the knockdown he needs.
Man, to build on what I was just saying, Tornado's sneaky with his shots on the inside, man. When he punches, sometimes you don't even know what you got hit with. He'll be out of your line of sight. Boom, you see him black. Boom, you're seeing white. Boom, you're seeing gray. It's like you don't even know what hits you half the time.
Final 10 in the lightweight title fight. The ref will separate them, and I don't know if we'll get another knockdown or anything else to score. But ladies and gentlemen, he might have done it. Everybody believes that Tornado did it, and John is gone, and that will 100% mean and new Tornado, the ego killer. We finally have a UBA lightweight champion, folks.
What a night, and what a way to end up.
Wow, closer than expected. Wow.
Wow, that was a lot closer than expected. Wow. Tornado won on damage, but it gave John rounds 2 and 5. Man, what a fight between these two and new Tornado, the ego killer.
Oh my
UBA
God,
can finally crown a lightweight champion and get this lightweight division moving.
You know how long it's been since we've crowned a lightweight champion in the division? You know how long it's been since we've seen anything but vacant in the lightweight channel? It's either been a banned champion, it's either been an invalid champion with no defenses that vacated immediately. It's been so long, and to see somebody as skilled as Tornado finally move his way back up, you know, to take on and become a title challenger and become the lightweight champion of the UBA. That was beautiful. That was great. I'm glad to see. I'm really glad to see that we have a lightweight champion, and I'm glad to see that it's Tornado. Now let's move on to the interview. Tornado, what do you have to say, bro?
Good fight. I'm exhausted. Ooh, that's tough. I really don't know what to say. Huge run, a lot of work. Had to go through mostly 3 top contenders. Had to go through Llama, Chang, and now John Jones. I feel great.
Alright, sorry, having a little bit of complications in the chat. Man, outside of how you're feeling, like, what does this show for your legacy? What's next for you, man?
Defend my title as long as I can. I'm requested to take a couple weeks off from the cards. I've had to fight 3-4 weeks in a row. You know, Winter Cup. What?
Understandable.
Yeah, long run. I want to take the next 1 to 2 weeks off. Go ahead and recover, and then I'll defend my title. Hopefully, UBA 11.
Understandable, dude. What a win! What a performance! You're making this burger taste better right now. Thank you, Tornado. You're making my burger taste good.
Who do you want to fight next, Tornado? Who do you have a lot of opportunity in the lightweight division. Who do you think deserves that next title shot?
Sage's coming down. I want to fight him next.
Ooh, that's a call out. That's a hell of a call out. Tornado versus Sage.
What about Llama?
That's true. Llama's in the talks, man. If you need a title defense while Sage moves his way up the rankings, I think Llama's just earned it tonight. What do you think about that, Tornado?
Beat him once. I beat both of them once and see if I can do it again.
Well, that's big man words. Well, what a wonderful performance from you tonight, Tornado. Absolutely wonderful showing of your skill. Thank you for finally crowning a champ of the lightweight division. This will call it quits for Fight Night 22. Thank you all for showing up. This was great. Oh, wait. Wait. Do we still have a... Do we have a post-fight interview for John, or is this it?
Oh, no. Boob, you're forgetting something. You're forgetting something very important. What time of year is it? What time of year is it?
It is winter. It is Christmas time, Mariah Carey. Right.
You know, Christmas isn't a week away, but you know what is a week away? Just 7 days?
What's a week away?
Ooh. The TCL charity tournament.
Ooh.
The tournament that UBA is fighting in. The tournament that RSVR is fighting in, that TCL is fighting in, that BSC is fighting in, that the Thrill of the Fight community team headed by Coach Dave is fighting in.
You got
That
everybody.
the content creator team with Clint Steele, Pester Jordan, and Kobenomics is fighting in. Now, you are not fighting for prize money in this tournament. As I said, it's a charity tournament, but what you are fighting for is aura, that #1 spot. And when TCL hosts a prize tournament later, if you win this tournament, your team will be seeded in that prize money tournament. I think that's a fair thing to
Hey, can I
fight
say
for.
something? Can I say something?
What's up?
Me, Valentine, and Yo Boy, Team Ringside VR, we're taking this charity event.
And I'm backing them up.
That's what
Yeah,
I disagree, but that's what I want to hear from you. Now, what I will say,
Fish,
I'm listening.
maybe I should defend my title against you. That'd be a good fight.
we'll get there. Let me climb up those rankings. Don't worry about that. I'm coming for
Just
it.
fight old boy.
You just keep it
Just fight
safe for
old
me.
boy. Okay, I'll.
Trash talk aside, one last thing to plug. As I said, it's a charity tournament. If you put $5, you donate $5, you get entered into a raffle where you can win some Thrill the Fight 2 merch, or where you can win a Quest 3S. And if you don't have Thrill the Fight 2, you get the game as well. Maybe you get a little $10, $20 meta card if you do own the game. We'll figure that out. Maybe that goes to the charity. We'll figure that out. But a week from now, keep your eyes peeled.
Wow. Very exciting Christmas charity event. Where did you mention what charity it's going to?
Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots is a charity ran by the Marine Corps. I worked with them when I was active duty. I've donated to them before. I volunteered a little bit. What they do is they give Christmas toys to children in need. Super, super good cause. Any donations, if you can afford to, would be greatly appreciated.
Alrighty, everybody. Make sure you guys tune in to Fight Night 23. As you guys saw, it will be main evented by Jester and Smoking 'em for another heavyweight title eliminator, to go against the one and only Bloob up here right now. We also have Bodie versus Dirtiest Jordan, and Ashcoop versus J Sway. It will be a banger card. Make sure you do not miss it and tune in. Also, make sure you guys are watching for the charity tournament next week. And everybody, thank you so much for coming out here. Gentlemen, do you have any other last words?
Smoking versus Boob soon? Question mark, question mark.
That would be amazing. All right, thank you everybody for coming here. Everyone that did their part, that was amazing. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.